Hello and welcome to another lovely Risen Draft League. I am joined here by Gumi, and we are going to be looking at some two very fascinating teams that I already have some qualms about, but we're not going to judge them preemptively. We want them to play as well as they can. It is Toasted Muffins versus Memoirs of an Aviaf, I think. Think that's how
Or
you pronounce it.
yeah, I'm pretty sure it's close enough, right?
It's close enough. Who knows? Who knows what's on the minds of the memories of the AF?
Uh,
Aleph, Ilif, Alaf. It's
eh,
fine.
it is what it is, right?
Well, we did have a patch come out earlier this week, which is incredibly exciting for everybody who plays League because we're just hoping that the developers are moving more and more towards some sort of balanced state for the jungle, especially. So, I mean, we're going to see a lot of reflections in that tonight with, some of these first games for the Risen League coming out. Maybe some other teams might be watching these, looking to get some ideas. Maybe you're looking to get some notes on what's actually strong, actually what's not strong anymore. But have you heard anything through the grapevine that you're looking out for
Yes,
after patch 13.4? All right, what's your
yes.
picks?
In so starting in from top to bottom, right? From top lane, I'm expecting to see a lot more Jarvan tops, a lot more Darius back in the top lane too, since the Dorn Shield nerfs,
Oh, true.
along with some Jax nerfs as well. Going into jungle, Fiddlesticks actually is becoming one of the more better AP junglers now since Elise got nerfed.
Yeah,
In the mid lane, of course, you got the Asol, right? And I believe
I hate Asol. I'm
uh,
gonna be honest with you. I hate that champion. I think it's stupid. I think it's in such a weird state. The only thing I'm happy about that champion is that they've actually solved a lot of the bugs, and yet there's still more of them. So when will it end? May I ask you? When will it end?
what, balancing or
No,
just
no, Aurelion still not being broken in terms of just like coding wise does not function as it should.
it'll never happen. Right? It's a small indie company, right?
Yeah.
And they can't
Yeah,
get
it's
anything right.
small indie company. They just did a whole bunch of budget cuts and layoffs this past year. I don't know if you heard about it from them.
Ooh,
So, real rough.
yeah,
But yeah, I do think J4 is going to pop up as a priority pick, especially since he was such a prevalent pick in the last patch. But you have to keep in mind on this patch, he was one of the ones who did get hit with a little bit of a nerf towards that previous buff. Yes, he's incredibly strong, especially in the jungle. You can get a little bit more of an aggressive lead with him. You can build him AD, and so if they want to go that route, why not just go Vi? Vi didn't really get touched this patch, and she's still a really strong pick. Does pretty much the same thing, just not in an area. So, I mean, you can see that. But bye bye to Maokai. We will not be seeing that tree for a while, most
for sure.
likely. So immediately right off, starting up the bands, we see the Anivia pulling a band and the Annie. I am thrilled to see that. I think they're both incredibly OP. I know you didn't mention them, but I hate an Anivia player.
I was gonna mention that when it get to the ADC and to the support. Andy support is actually really good now with the molten shield. Her
Yep.
buff to that, where you can get damage more
Yep.
to yourself.
Immediately that Aurelion Soul, as
Yep,
you
there it
mentioned.
is.
All
It's
right.
maybe
What
toast
counters
Moses.
it? What do you want to
Uh
see? Because did ban out the Anivia already. That's one of the better counter picks to the Aurelion Soul. So took that for the planning. Caston's a little bit of a weaker counter, but still does the same thing. So looking again at uh, Muffins doing their game plan, setting that Aurelion Soul up to be their prime B1 pick. I love it.
maybe you could see an Ari. I don't know. I mean, I'm not too heavily uh knowledge on the counters to Asol, but maybe like an
There aren't
Ari.
that many, and that's the problem. So, and the reason there aren't many is because in solo queue, you can take an AD champ, you can abuse his early lane being a little bit weaker, you can try and kill him. In a team setting where you are organized, it is so much harder to kill that man. So much harder to kill that man. So taking the Wukong and Lulu is very interesting to me because they're setting up to take a scaling pick in the bot lane. I think that is one of the solutions to the Aurelion Soul. Taking the Zeri with the Lulu would be perfect here.
I actually
Such a great bot lane.
So doing a little research, I believe one of his strongest pick in the bot lane for Tempest KTL is Aphelios. He's actually really good at Aphelios. He can also take the
Okay.
Zeri with that too. But with Aphelios being buffed for his attack
The
speed
buffs weren't
passive,
much.
it
The
wasn't
buffs were not
much,
much. It's
but
more of a placebo buff.
it's still quite relevant because it did boost his attack speed in the early game to the late game. Maybe not by much, but it was still pretty prevalent.
Yeah, I think it's going to put him back into a spot where he's a little bit more contestable as an ADC, and especially when you already have a Lulu and a Wukong. I mean, that's a ton of setup for Aurelia. I'm sorry, for Aphelios' ults. It's a really good setup for his blue, white, and red weapons as well with this comp. So, like, you have a lot of opportunities for the Aurelion Soul to get shut down when you can get those lanes ahead. The problem is Aurelion Sol wins the game if you do not shut down the game by 25 minutes. If
Yep,
he gets to the 25-minute mark, he's got one and a half, two items. He's a menace. He's turned into a pseudo tank assassin mage, control mage, you know, team fight, wombo combo, just juggernaut, right? And
yep,
and it's just so tough to deal with him. And if you take the Aphelios, that's an immobile ADC. You've got an Alistair and a Mumu charging at whatever scaling pick that they red side wants to go right now. Interesting for them to get rid of the Jinx. Like I understand why, but like Jinx is not going to have a hard time against the Alistair or the Amumu. Um, it's tough.
yep.
Holding on to the ADC pick. Interesting.
I mean, they do have to show it on this next pick phase for
Yeah.
Crystal Muffins, so it could be
Yeah.
something they want to get the counter matchup for the bot lane.
It's just interesting because they'd already taken the Cho'Gath, right? And so you can hide the fact of whether or not that Cho'Gath's actually going top or mid and pick your ADC on R4. So
Right.
to take the victor, prove that Cho'Gath is not only going top, but also that Victor will be going mid, makes it so that they can just set up whatever top laner they want to have into the Cho'Gath. And
Yep.
look at that. They take away the Zeri, completely shutting down the best pick to be able to take with the Lulu into that comp. They have got to take up a massive tank shredder for red right now. Like
So,
Kog'Maw is the only real option here.
well, with the recent nerf to Samira, right, has brought in of course, a new line of 80 carries that will be good into this meta, and Twitch is actually one of those.
Twitch doesn't do enough though. I'm just
But with
knowing Caitlyn.
that's fairly interesting to see, nonetheless.
So first of all, Kog'Maw counters Zeri. Second of all, uh, if you shut down Caitlyn early, she does not pick up the items needed to get through four tanks. By the way, four tanks on blue side. Uh, she doesn't have enough damage, so she's waiting
Yep.
until like item four to be able to do much against them. Uh,
Yeah.
this is rough. This is so rough to see. I mean, you can go Varus there, you can go maybe even Twitch is a little bit better, but like, or Vayne or Sivir or Cog's the best. Holy smokes. Okay. Um, wow. Just wow. What a
Yeah,
red side.
it still kind of boggles my mind to see that Caitlyn pick though. I don't really all pretty much all those 80 carries that you just mentioned would have been probably a little better than the Caitlyn.
So when you take Caitlyn, you want the level one, right? You want to take the level one or straight up to the enemy ADC and say, "Hey, I'm going to slap you in the face with the Q." When you take Lulu, you are taking that entire game plan that Caitlyn wants to do in the lane and throwing it out the window because she is basically the Dobby of Hogwarts, running around your legs, hoping that she can be helpful and and she can try to keep you alive. Caitlyn wants to burst. Lulu wants sustained fighting. So wow, just
I
wow.
I honestly wouldn't have so Caitlyn, yes, it's a I don't really agree with the pick, but if it wasn't a Lulu pick into this Caitlyn, say like I honestly probably would have picked Morgana, just seeing the Aesol. So you get the
Yeah,
black shield.
yeah, yeah. So Aurelion Souls, if he tries to charge in, you got the Q for him. Uh, the Black Shield actually really doesn't do too much. It's more the Q for Aurelion Soul because
Sure.
his whole advantage is negated if he can't get his E and Q under you. So like I know the route you're going with that, but like it's just I don't know, man. I'm just coming up with a blank for red side's process. I love blue side. I think blue side's great. I think the Amumu is going to function great in a lot of these team fights for the Aurelion Soul and the Volibear going in. I think Alistair is a great disengaged support, especially after all those buffs he got for the Zeri. uh, Zeri just wants to be in this lane to farm. Lulu's kind of just giving her that ability too, because she can just get the shield from Lulu. She steals the shield with her passive. So great lane for Zeri. Only real trouble is maybe the level one from Caitlyn. So as long as the Zeri doesn't has a brain, this is a great lane for blue. I think Muffins is set up.
Yeah, I do. I have to agree. Like, even though, of course, Tempest KTL, he's a good buddy of mine. I do have to give this draft over to Toasted Muffins. This is if they can get to that scaling point, get that Aesol the items, get the Zeri the items, it's just over.
Yeah, this is such a great lane for blue side. But all right, well, do you have any other closing thoughts on this draft? We're gonna load up into this game and wait for them to get that head start on us.
Shut down Aesol. That's all I gotta
Shut down
do.
Asol. Yeah, use the Cho'Gath that should have gone mid, to survive, and Victor with Wukong to somehow kill an Aurelion Soul, kill the dragon,
Yep.
I guess. All right. Well, we're gonna load into this game. Take a quick break before the game starts up, and we will see you guys back in a minute. Welcome back. We are getting into this very lovely game where both teams have very balanced drafts.
Yeah, yeah.
This is going to go so well. I can't stress this enough.
30 seconds until
Yeah, it's gonna
minions
be
spawn.
going swimmingly.
I'm smiling like a clown right now, and no one can see it because of my reaction to these drafts. Great. Awesome. I'm
But
so happy. I'm so happy to be watching this.
oh my goodness, this is gonna be a very interesting game to see.
I
To say
just
the
don't
least.
like it, and that's it. It's just a personal bias, right? Like I just look at the draft and it's like I don't want to play this game. I don't want to be in this game playing this game. I don't want to. It's
Minions
not
have
fun.
spawned.
So like for me thinking that and feeling that and looking in, that's how I feel for these players, you know? So just standard 5 point. Look, Caitlyn's even doing the level 1 on the bot side. This makes perfect sense. So, yeah, getting into this game, we're going to be seeing a lot of action, and supposedly with how these comps work, not much results.
Yeah, but we do see on the blue side that the Zeri did start with a coal.
That's exactly what she should do, because
I
all
mean,
she wants to do in this lane is Alistair's going to hit them away if they ever get close to Zeri. She's going to wait until she gets shield bow, and then she's going to wait until she hits level 6, and then she gets to play the game. Why are they not level 1ing blue side?
I could
They
not
did
tell
not level
you.
1 blue side. Awesome. It's so happy. I'm so happy. I'm so happy to see this.
Hey, it is what it is. They don't want too much action right now. I don't know why,
No.
but they don't.
No, the Caitlyn didn't want to take her advantage of the level 1 at all, especially with the range support as well. So
Yeah, we already see a little scuffle in the top lane, a big old meat wall fight.
yeah, well, that's all that's going to be. It's just going to be two people chomping at the bit on top side. You got a lot of percent health coming out from both champions. There is the potential to kill. I think that is probably going to be our most gankable lane for both junglers.
Yep. Very sad to see.
Yeah, this Amumu and Wukong, even though top is the most gankable lane, they decided to path down.
Yep, they're
So
both trying to get that early advantage on the bot side.
Yeah, they're gonna try and path down. This Wukong's gonna be a really sad monkey and just stare at the Amumu when he gets there a little bit earlier. Oh wow, Cho'Gath going. The one trick top lane Cho'Gath, by the way, is having a rough time against this Volibear.
Yeah, very tough time. I expect a little more from. I'm pretty sure it's a Cho'Gath one trick, but I don't want to say it is.
Hey man, I'm
Possibly.
going off your knowledge, your knowledge base of everyone.
Look, I took notes for the draft, and
Yeah.
my draft just kind of went out the window, so I don't even know what to expect anymore.
Yeah, no, I feel that. So I'd love to see the Wukong and the Amumu pathing towards bot lane, and then the Amumu skipping Raptors and Reds and going to Krugs first. Interesting decision. That's not something I read about in the patch notes.
He was trying to get that early gank off in the bot lane, but couldn't quite get anything because I don't think they were
Clearly.
quite level 2.
Yeah,
Nope,
clearly.
didn't spot Wukong. The Scryers are getting a
Yeah,
little
Wukong
scuffle and
actually doing the pathing in jungle he should have.
just bullying the Mumu out of his jungle. He's saying, "No, this is my jungle. Get out of here. You're crying mumminess."
Yeah, this is what happens when you skip your Raptors and Red and go straight to Krugs.
Exactly.
He gets punished. So no surprise there. Wukong is going to have a nice little look at bot lane though, with them
Yep.
pushing out. Are we going to see a kill?
I sure hope so. We need some a little more action
If
going
they're
on right now.
smart, we will never see them die. But you know,
Zeri just jumps over the wall to try to scare the Wukong
all
away.
right, cool.
Goes away.
Because Lulu and Caitlyn cannot engage with the Wukong at all. So it's going to be a lot of the time, it's going to be the Wukong coming to look at a lane, being like, you know what? This is actually not possible for me to do this, and then leaving. So, you know, feels good for the monkey.
Yep. And Amumu's going to see that his Raptors weren't taken. It's going to be a little surprise gift for him.
Yeah, he gets a nice consolation prize seeing the Wukong have a failed gank on bot side. He's going to be getting some nice little golden experience from Coleslaw not being able to fully utilize that invade from earlier.
Yep, and then after that, nothing really going on too much in the Summoner's Rift. Oh, getting a clear award. Vision score goes up. Yes!
Way to go, Mumu. Way to get your entire jungle back, even after a complete and utter invade at level 1. Well done. Good job.
Yep, and now he's going to finally get his red buff. Wukong just going to get some Scuttle Crab here.
I'm at least happy to say that the double range bot lane does have a 4 minion lead right now. That is negated because they didn't shove out the lane all the way, but it's there. It exists.
Yep. It does.
In some universe, it exists. So it's good to see that. Man, that's tough to watch. Just seeing the Mookie steal the Grump and be able to leave for it. Surprisingly, Amumu was not spotting this out, or he decided that it was not worth for him to fight it.
I definitely.
He definitely did not see it.
Yep, I definitely feel like the Volibear should have at least awarded his jungle entrance to see any potential invade.
We're being mean, Gumi. I'm sorry. I'll apologize to them. We are being slightly mean towards these two teams. They are learning the game. This is an indie company game, and so all the players who play this game are still new. How dare I speak about what they should or shouldn't be doing right now? That's ridiculous.
Yeah, what would I know about a small indie company games by playing for just just a measly 10 years?
Yeah, what would I know about this Wukong getting 17 farm up on the enemy jungle at 7 minutes after invading and still not having any leads in any lane whatsoever that he can do anything about, unless this Aurelion Soul's going to just leave. And now he's wasting his time in mid lane. So we've seen the Wukong go bot lane. Take a look down there. He went towards the top side of the map. Got a Grump. He got a Grump. He did steal a Grump for all the biscuits and gravy in the world. And now he's visiting the Aurelion Soul, who can just leave for free. So it's great seeing all this action across this map, and the world of amateur esports.
Very exciting times that we live in right now.
Yes.
I don't foresee a whole lot pre-6. I mean, I would have liked to seen a little more from the Mumu pre-6 with his double bandage toss, but in terms of the Wukong, who just hit level 6, I could see a little more volatile ganks coming through now.
Yeah, well, we do see the red sides coming up. They're trying to take a look at this dragon with a champion that can disengage and a champion that can engage.
Zeri ultimate, and Lulu is just down for the count. Can't get a whole lot. Double kill for the Zeri.
Yeah, that's what happens when you're a Lulu who walks up to the dragon pit with a Caitlyn and you don't have a level 6. Yep. You die. You just die. But great engage from blue side. Way to use your comp.
Yep, Alistar coming in with the flash headbutt pulverize to get that
Yeah.
combo onto two people, and
So
Lulu just popped.
yeah, so blue side not only did they get Dragon because they literally have uh 3 different forms of CC, but the Zeri also had 6 there. It was able to pop it, blow up both bot laners. 2 kills on this Zeri, who should never, ever have a lead this early in the game.
No, definitely not. And that is going to be very detrimental for red side.
So I mentioned before this game started, I mentioned that they gotta bop each other a little bit, and then
Yep,
Cho
just
leaves. Yeah, it
little
shows
bop.
Cho leaves. All right. So I mentioned earlier that Caitlyn is never going to be able to get through blue side's comp. It's too much tanky stats. And so that was before when I was talking. That was when I was saying, okay, Caitlyn and Zeri don't kill each other in the lane, and they're completely equal as like ADCs. They're just even champions across the board. Caitlyn has to wait until item 4 to be able to do anything to those tanks.
Ooh, good flash going from the Victor.
Problem is, Zeri now has 2 kills for free without blowing
Oh,
anything for without
okay,
trading.
coming into the top lane is Volibear going to ult out of there. He pops the ult, but doesn't get the second knockup on the Wukong, but Wukong still gets the kill onto the Volibear.
Great kill. Love to see it. This should mean topside pressure, but this Lulu's getting bullied.
Yep. She flashed away. Good flash. Victor is still there fighting the Zeri, but this Victor doesn't have flash. Overgrowth coming in from the Lulu. Victor is taking a lot of damage from the Amumu, but Mumu's taking the turret. He can get the kill onto the Amumu.
So, an engage over the wall by the Alistar, but no one to really be able to follow up. So you have your prime engage going in. It looks like a great play from his perspective. And all of his teammates, I have to imagine, are shouting at him, "We can't hit them too! We cannot hit them! We cannot make contact with them! Get out!" And Zeri somehow did. So kudos to her. Kudos to the Zeri for being able to do what the job of an ADC and do damage and then survive doing that damage. Very proud of you.
That was very good for the Zeri surviving the Victor burst, and we did see a Herald pick up from the red team, which is pretty good. We also saw Caitlyn in the bot side just getting free turret play gold, which is very good for her. Very smart play.
Yeah, I mean, just looking at the goal advantage, I mean, you're sitting on 2 kills as the Zeri. You're in such a fantastic spot, especially when she finishes that call. That's an extra decent amount of gold in her pocket, ignoring base stats on what would normally be lost when giving up a Doran's item. So really awesome for her to start that call, get that 2 kill advantage. The Alistair and Amumu playing around her fantastically. A little bit of a misstep in the mid lane when they went for that dive on the Lulu. But I mean, other than that, I mean, this Zeri is so set up to carry this game. It's crazy.
Yep. Oh, a gank in the top lane. Mumu lands the
Great
bandage.
bandage.
But Cho'Gath just cues and walks away.
Yeah, Cho'Gath popped a beautiful knockup on both of them instead of just the one. And Amumu's ult was 5 seconds from being off cooldown.
Ooh, that is definitely a feels bad moment.
Yeah, didn't time that quite right, but it was a good look. And we have to credit them for having good ideas sometimes.
Yep. And Wukong is just sitting in this bot waiting for his time to shine and pop the Herald.
Yeah,
Lulu's taking a lot of damage. Wukong
Wow.
goes in, E's ult pops. Kaylin ult lands. Wukong picks up the kill shutdown for the Wukong.
Walking a little bit too far forward there, you know, being some ballsy Zeri energy right there, thinking, oh yeah, I see their bot lane. I don't know where their enemy jungler is. This isn't a bait at all. This can't be a bait.
That Tribush warding is definitely a coin flip in terms of trying to clear out the vision. It could be either a bait or they just could. I mean, it's just a bait.
Yeah, great kill back though for the Wukong. He's able to get himself a decent amount of gold in his pocket. He's setting himself up to be the primary carry in their early game for Red Side right now. I mean, that's what they really need. They need to find somebody on their team that they can play around for these team fights, to find somebody who can go in and survive. So, I mean, giving the kills over to the Wukong is such a great play for them. And I mean, that's going to be the one avenue they have to, hopefully get this Cho'Gath and the Victor online.
Oh, we see Alistar try to go in for a combo, but doesn't quite hit the Q.
Well, if you were a cow and you had to see past horns, I think you would struggle at it too.
Yeah, I probably.
Can't back in front of an Aurelian Soul. Sorry about that. Displacement's a bit of a rough time, bud.
Yep, just sucks you into his galaxy. But maybe we can see from this Aesol the 1 in 100 chance of Lee Sin just flying in and giving him an assist.
Yeah. It could happen. Do I want it to happen? Eh. I'm neutral about it. It could happen. It's allowed to happen, but doesn't need to. Nah. Engage here.
Engage. Aesol drops her ult, flash polarize onto the Caitlyn. Caitlyn just gets locked up forever. She doesn't have clutch. She can't get out from all the CC. Aesol getting the kill on the Caitlyn.
And that is how Muffins comp should work right there. There should be not a single amount of CC wasted on their side, and Memoirs will not be able to move ever in this game.
Yeah, it was a very good layering of the CC onto the Caitlyn. She just couldn't move anywhere.
I mean, she used cleanse. She tried. She tried to move.
That trying is different from actually doing.
I love that Lulu wants to go back to the exact same spot she got caught before with the exact 3 champions that she saw before. Maybe she wants to get another cheeky playoff.
Possibly.
Yeah.
This game is now pretty exciting.
We want to see this Wukong be able to get in there with those flashy little shadow clones and get some lovely damage down with the ult, with Victor and Cho'Gath, spraying from the back, I guess. It's a path to victory. It does exist, and my Memoirs are steadily building up that gold lead again. Aurelian Soul struggling to farm here in the early game.
Yep, he is down against red team's enemy mid laner. He is down 38 CS. Both going up now, but roughly down 38 CS.
Yeah, somebody who wants to scale. Ooh, Wukong getting caught here.
Oh, Popsy ulti just to get away, which is very good for him. He just gets away scot-free, just expending an ultimate.
Massive combat ult for them, especially on a fed carry like that. I mean, this is going to give blue side a lot of pressure on the mid and top side of the map, maybe even pushing into the enemy jungle. That's going to be really terrifying for the Lulu to try and get some vision down after. I mean, yeah, even right there, Caitlyn has to respect this of Mumu. It does not matter if he's ahead or not. I mean, it's terrifying playing an ADC where you can die just as easily as your support.
I mean, it's just terrifying to play at ADC in general in this day and age in League.
Of course. Of course. You do have a cow. So for the Zeri, you do have the Amumu and the volley. I mean, you have so many tools on for Muffins in being able to keep this Zeri alive. So having her be your carry compared to a Wukong who has to dive to execute the plan, it just feels so much better to play with for crit. And so setting it up so that the Zeri can succeed is the thing on the forefront of their mind. And walking around the map with the Alistar Amumu combo is so safe for them. They will be able to get this vision wherever they want, as long as they're keeping their macro plan together as a team. These objectives will always be theirs.
Yep, Alistar going in for a combo onto the Victor. Zeri pops the ultimate, just firing onto the Victor. Moon Band tossed in. Caitlyn doesn't have cleansing where she's just getting locked up right now.
Ooh.
And the skies descend. Crit getting the kill on the Caitlyn. Zeri getting a double kill right here. Aesol dying to the Wukong, but getting a trade kill for the Alistar onto the Victor. Zeri going back in. Coleslaw flashing, getting the auto attack on the Alistar, getting a double kill for him, but Zeri's still firing in the backline, relatively untouched.
Yeah, I mean, the Alistar tried to get that trade kill on the Aurelian Soul, but if you weren't watching that team fight, Aurelian Soul decided that he wanted to do a 1v3 real quick in the backline, even though Wukong was the most fed person on the team, and he was in the middle of their face. So, free Rift Herald over for blue side. I'd say what rating would you want to give this fight out of 10 for blue for Muffins?
For blue, it
Yeah,
was slightly a little bad because the ASOL did just go in. But other than that, I'd probably give it like an 8. Maybe
I'd say
it's like a
7.
7. Yeah, I was
I'd
gonna
say
say like
7.
8, 7 or 8 around there.
They played around their. I think their initial engage was perfect. I mean, you see the Amumu getting into the minion wave with Q, popping the ult down on the Caitlyn and Lulu. Both of them died real fast, especially when the Sky's Descent comes just smashing down right in the middle of them. I think all that was wonderful. Right after that, though, you could tell that there wasn't really a clear comm for who they needed to target next, right? Because Aurelion Soul charged to go for some other people while his primary targets weren't quite finished off yet. So I think he just trusted his teammates a little bit too quickly instead of everybody focusing the same targets at once, burning them down, getting them out, because that would have been a free Rift Herald and or Dragon pressure as well. So losing out on that Dragon is not an awful loss, but it still feels rough for Muffins. They could have
Yep.
gotten so much more. Is my point.
Of course. But other than that, it was was a pretty good trade for the blue team though.
Yeah, I mean it's exactly the engage they were looking for. If blue team can keep up those engages, this gold being at exactly even right now will not matter because those team fights will always benefit the scaling comp, right? Especially when it's a Zeri, especially when it's a Zeri with an Alistair and a Mumu to help peel for the Wukong, who's the only threat for her backline access on red side. It's the only one who's really going to have an issue. And you have so many tools. You have so many spells that can come out, separate everyone from red team from that Wukong, and make him completely alone in the world. Not that
Yep.
that's not the case. Just, I hope you have friends, buddy. But in this game, you're going to be separated from your friends.
Yep. All you got to do is just kill the Wukong, and red team's team fight just falls apart.
Just makes me really sad to see the Caitlyn in this comp. I'm an ADC main. I have to feel for her. I have to feel, what do I want to do? What am I trying to do? What do I want to have happen for me to be able to succeed? And I am coming up completely blank. There is just, you are sitting back and basically playing scaling on a champion that does not want to operate behind.
Yeah, they definitely have to really play front to back, and Wukong just trying to get the back line, get as much damage or get a kill, just to help with the team fight.
Yeah, we do have some side pressure coming down from the Cho'Gath of all people, trying to split and get some items on him. It looks like he's building towards, I would assume, to be Rylai's next with the giant spell coming down on him.
You'd probably assume so. You could also assume that it's like maybe a demonic embrace, which I don't see why you would really need it.
Yeah,
But
you
could be
could go
possibility.
demonic. Yeah, I think the utility from Cho'Gath is his shining point. Demonic doesn't help towards that. Oh wow, Alistair is
Alistar
staying in
flashed
this fight.
huge.
Wukong going in.
Wukong going into the backline. Zeri pops the ultimate. Wukong just sticking onto the Zeri. Pop the second ultimate. Gets a shutdown on the Zeri to the Victor. Wukong still back there. Volibear tries to ult kill the Wukong, but Wukong splashes away. Double kill for the Victor. Triple kill for the Victor, actually. Wukong soloing right now. Duoing with his ASOL. And Victor up with the quadra kill.
Wow. Goodness. All right,
Like-
let's break that down for everybody. So if you're playing Alistair and your carry is a Zeri, you should not be trying to 1v5 tank the enemy team. I don't know who you are. I don't know what kind of god you're listening under, whether it's Cthulhu or something, and you're hoping for the divine intervention of your life in that moment. Nothing's going to happen to prevent you from dying if you are alone among the entirety of Red Side's team comp. He went in balls deep, trying to get an engage alone. And it just meant that as soon as he was down, as soon as he burned his ult, he burned all of his abilities. Wukong can do what he wants, even a Mumu. As soon as the Alistair was about to die, started to go in, Wukong just ignored it. He just walked straight past the Wukong. I'm sorry, he walked straight past the Amumu. He walked straight past the Alistair who was inting his head off, and he was able to pick up some fantastic damage, and Victor just walks him down right after. I mean, great play from Coleslaw, to be honest. Getting his team into a position where they win that fight. And I'm sorry, but Alistair kind of just gave the game away right there.
Yep, and red team did play it exactly how I wanted to, but a little more after that, while we get into this dragon fight right now, or potential dragon fight right now over this cloud drag. This will be third dragon.
Coleslaw's in there.
Coleslaw goes in the back, but Aso pops the ultimate. Lulu pops the ultimate. Zeri gets the kill onto the Wukong, and their team fight just all gone right now.
Oh, this looks so much better.
Ollie ulted to the back line. Cho'Gath has to flash away. Caitlyn just firing in the back line, relatively untouched too. She gets a double kill. She goes in for the ulti, blocks it from the Asol, and 3 low health champions versus 2 pretty full health champions and a Cho'Gath.
Wow, the Wukong getting that side engage out of the dragon pit and into the back line of blue team. Them peeling off for the Zeri and Zeri popping off for the rest of that fight. Volibear, I don't know if that was the depth that you wanted to go in there. I think that was a little bit too far. But other than that, I think that was a great response to the Wukong's massive engage in the backline. I don't know. I don't think it's impossible for us to replay it, but I swear Aurelion Sol used ult in that fight and it did not go off.
He did use the ultimate, but it just landed onto the Wukong just to try to keep him safe.
I don't think it hit the Wukong then, because I didn't see any sort of CC. I didn't see any I saw the animation for the ult falling, and then nothing happened after it. So I don't know if it just completely whiffed or if Wukong was able to dodge that with his clone form or something like that. But needlessly, I mean, you have a massive engage or separation tool for blue side kind of just getting lost, being used on the Wukong instead of preventing red team from being able to help the Wukong.
Lulu getting caught out right now. Ooh.
Yep. Well, when you're suffering under the fate of a cow and a bear, I mean, you either say "Oh my" and leave, or you die at the hand of the wizard.
Yeah, but going a little back to the team fight that got red team the bear, and they played it pretty much how I expect red team to play with this team comp, which is Wukong going in with the clone, diving into the back.
You mean dragon?
No, this was before the dragon.
Yeah, you said Baron.
Yes, thank you. I brain fart. But another fight going on right now. Zeri pops ultimate and then goes. She's just firing. Alistar goes a headbutt polarized combo. Asol coming in with the Sky's Descent. Big ultimate right there. But Alistar is low too. Mumu goes in with the bandage toss, gets the ultimate down, has to flash away. And Caitlyn used the cleanse. But Victor's just going in 1v5 right now.
Wow. Amumu flashed over the wall when he had a decent amount of health just so that he could stay in the fight.
Ooh, great
Victor!
Going in a little too far right now, but Wukong is there now, popping the ultimate just to get away. Amumu is almost dead. KTL picks up the kill, gets a double kill to Alistar. Cho'Gath gets a ultimate off onto the Volibear, and this is just a great fight for red team.
That's so much healing from Wukong. Wukong dropping low there, not quite executed. That was such an interesting fight. First of all, kudos to the Cho'Gath. He had a fantastic knockup on 2 members of blue team there. Was able to sustain the fight for red side and keep him in a good spot for Wukong to re-engage there. That might have sealed the deal. We have an inhib going down here and easily another flow of power over to red side's team. I mean, they're getting away with murder in all of these team fights. This should not be happening.
No, this is definitely a surprise.
It's crazy to me. You know, you see the Volibears engages, and they're actually just doing nothing. They're not doing anything. The Amumu's setting things up. He had a fantastic ult in that last fight. You know, the Alistair's able to get that pick on the Victor in the middle of that fight. You know, he goes down. That should be a win for blue side. And yet you're putting all of all your eggs in the basket for Zeri with how you're playing these team fights for blue side.
Yeah, definitely. Back to the original point that I was making, they're playing these team fights really well by having front to back for the Caitlyn and the Victor, Cho'Gath helping out, and the Lulu as well, and Wukong just diving into the back line.
Yeah, if your initial engage can't get them low enough for Zeri to be able to finish him off, Victor and Caitlyn could just turn around with the power of the Lulu ult and turn around with the power of Wukong and his kit and really get some serious damage down. And that's how these team fights are going every single time, and it's working. It's working. I mean, it shouldn't be, and we're looking at Soul Point for Memoirs, but it is working.
Yeah, this is definitely, I would say, a pretty good pickup, but it is gold in the pocket, and they do get that out of combat movement speed, I believe, is what Clouddrake does now.
Yeah, it does give blue team a little bit of time to set up this Baron pressure, though. Might be seeing the fight to end the game right now.
Yep, they are bush camping right now. They see the Wukong. Oh, doesn't quite hit the combo correctly. Wukong goes in with the ultimate. Move goes with the ultimate. Volibear jumping in right now. Zeri's firing in the backline. Gets a kill on the Wukong, but Kayla gets another kill. Lulu getting the kill on the Alistar. And with his E, Asol's E going in, they can't go any forward. Oh,
I mean,
right there.
that's another story of just not much happening from anyone other than these two champions that we still have on the map. I will point out the fact that Victor has been using his ult every single time on Zeri, as he has not used it on a single other member for Muffins, and she has to run away from it. It does not matter that she has a shield bow. It does not matter that she has Bloodthirster. She doesn't have the raw magical resistance stats to be able to tank that ult in its entirety. You know, he's still able to push pressure her off those game-winning team fights, and that's a Baron and a Soul into Memoir's pocket right now.
Yep, all they got to do is get one more good team fight, and this game is done.
Yeah, it's going to be rough for blue side being able to play for some of these team fights. I don't know, Muffins. If you were putting all your muffins in the basket, you need to play around that basket. So giving the space to the champions needed to actually win the game might be the direction you want to go. Your Zeri does have 4 items. I'd like to point out to you, 4 full items, not including boots, and your Volibear has 2. So if you're looking at who should be leading the charge on these fights and sacrificing their life to get the setup needed, then by all means, go do it. But you need to actually go do it. Otherwise, you're letting this comp get away with what they really shouldn't be right now.
But
And
we
it's
see that.
upsetting me.
Yeah, and we see that the Asol does have the Sky's Descend for this next team fight, so it's going to be very good to see the Asol actually getting that AoE, the huge AoE from his ultimate, onto the team of the EOD.
Yeah, this is a 4v4 right now, but honestly, this is a fight that blue side can take if it, oh, we got this guy's descent. Not behind red team, but in front of them. Completely burning the ult, not doing anything right there. That is such a... Wow, what a cooldown to lose.
Yeah, that is very, very unfortunate for blue team. They have one of their good team fighting ultimates down for the count.
I mean, you're not going to get that back for the rest of this game at this point. At the pace this game's going, this is rough. They don't have the wave clear to sustain this. Aurelion Sol not using his abilities correctly, not able to get the sustained damage that the team needs from him, with Zeri being the primary carry, I guess. I mean, it feels terrible to play.
Yep, they're just going top lane to get that triple inhib. Wukong pops the ultimate onto the Volibear. He just flashes in onto him, or he flashes. Oh, who flashed? Cho'Gath flashed and ulted.
Yes. Cho'Gath flash ulted, finishing off the bear. Engage, though.
Oh, Gray getting a little low. Zeri popped the ultimate. Mumu popped the ultimate. Asol's firing his laser in the back, just burning through the health bars. Gray gets executed. Caitlyn's trying to fire, take out the Asol, but he's just standing there menacingly.
Zeri's murdering everyone.
Alistar just went back in, and this is a team fight that blue team won.
No. It wasn't blue team.
It was there.
It was crit.
Oh, yeah.
It was crit. It wasn't blue team. Watching that fight, it was literally blue team members reenacting some random World War II epic, throwing themselves at the front line, hoping for the best, hoping whatever teammate they had behind them surviving was able to pick up the kills and to secure this win for them. Zeri delivering though for the first time in the last 15 minutes, able to commit the team fight. If you notice, Wukong went in, he had a good engage, but the one person he did not get was Crit. And so Caitlyn tries to burn her full combo, taking out the Zeri and missing all of it. Just getting one auto attack onto her, and she's got the shield bow, she's got the bloodthirster, she's got so much right now, keeping her alive, and she even picked up a stopwatch, turning that into a GA, I'm betting.
No, she did not turn
Not a
into a GA.
GA.
I did not know the build path for stopwatch now is into a Lord Dominic
Yeah,
Serdar.
yeah, I've learned something today. It's not terrible. I think she's got enough damage to use that Bloodthirster. The biggest threat to her is that Wukong engage. If the Wukong engage doesn't happen, I mean, this Zeri just has a free time in these team fights, being able to do whatever she wants to have to get this game finished. This dragon, this Elder Dragon's going to decide all of it. As long as nobody ints here for blue side, this might be game winning.
Yeah, but we have the skies descend again for the ASOL.
But supers are pouring into the base. Do they want this? I mean, at this point, I think you just got to defend, wait for your Nexus to be in a better spot, and then try and do something in these jungles. Blue, you got to pick your poison here, bud.
Yep, I would. Oh, Volibear is getting chunked out right now. Cole had to Cole flash to get the knockup onto the Volibear, picking up the kill for the Kaylin. Silence onto the Alistar.
Right there, right there. That's a good ult.
Skies descend. Ooh, hitting
ult.
3 members. Well, all of them technically, but the knockup and stun hitting 3 members. Amumu ulting right now, but it is a split fight. Victor soloing the ASOL right now. Crit's just trying to do what he can, and he's doing pretty well. Shield will pop knockup, but he's gone.
Yeah, that's not going to be enough. The Sky's Descent, not quite in the right spot. It needs to go slightly behind the enemy team, and he fired it again right in front of them. Most of the important team members to get hit by it only got hit by the shockwave. That's a game over to Memoirs right now. Wow.
Very, very good game.
Wow. What an insane game to watch. I mean, there's just so many things to talk about. Like, first of all, red side, Memoirs, if you're watching this, you should never get away with that team comp, first of all. Kudos to your jungler, Coleslaw, for being able to take the pick of Wukong and do so much with it to get things done, to get you guys through the early game. Victor picking up the Quadra in one of those team fights to get him back on the board. And then everybody else just sort of existing around those two champions.
Was definitely very good team fighting coming from Memoirs. Just slightly better than Toasted Muffins, which really made the difference in this game.
Yeah, I mean, Crit had such a great time in this game playing the Zeri, picking up great kills in those team fights, even that one where they were able to hold on to their base. I mean, playing their heart out to try and keep that win for blue side, especially with a comp so focused around keeping her going, keeping her alive, giving her these opportunities to carry the game. And it's heartbreaking. It really is. The volley pick did very little for helping everything out. I think that was the biggest pick that kind of could have made a difference if they'd gone a different direction. They did even see that Cho'Gath was top lane, and they still opted into the volley bear matchup. I mean, what is that supposed to do for you? What is a volley bear pick going to ever do into a Cho'Gath? And we look at the team fights, every single time we saw the volley bear go in, he got nothing done. He couldn't find a spot to engage and stick on them and be able to get something done. I think he tried his best, but the pick just was not functioning with the rest of their comp. That might be the avenue to search down. Memoirs, don't ever pick that comp again. Please, just don't. Don't put yourself at a deficit. You guys played great. You don't need to do that to yourself.
I definitely think probably going forward, maybe not choose the volley bear, maybe choose like maybe a different tank. I'd honestly probably think Scion would have been a lot better under
I
this
don't
if they
think
were
you
going to
even
come
need a
with it.
tank. I don't think you even need a tank. You've already taken the Alistair and you've already taken the Amumu in the draft, right? You took those in B2, B3. So to have that happen and then see the Cho'Gath and the Victor, who both want you to run at their team and both are happy to see a champion do that, and then to take Volley Bear on before it just it's never going to work. It's never going to function how you want it to go. So it's tough. It's tough seeing that for our side. I really do think that Blues comp was so good across the board. Otherwise, the Aurelion Soul pick, the Zeri pick, the Amuma pick, the Alistair pick, they all functioned so well together. Do you have any other thoughts about how that game went?
Honestly, no, I don't. That game was just very I don't know the word for it. It was very good. I don't know any better word for that, but it was
No,
very
no, no,
good.
no. Everything after the 15-minute mark was good. Everything before the 15-minute mark made me want to go into a hole and cry.
I
So
honestly was a little snooze fest on that one.
yeah, it made
50
me it
minutes.
made me want to crawl up in a hole and cry. So that's just my perspective. But we're gonna see so much more team fighting. Great job on Memoirs' part for pulling out and sticking the landing on a win. Uh, great play from Coleslaw. Great team fighting in the mid game from their mid laner, who I am blanking on. So we're gonna see another game two coming out, and hopefully we have another banger of a series coming out. So we're gonna go on a break real quick and be right back. Welcome back. We are waiting to get into the draft for both sides. We have not swapped sides, so it looks like Memoirs did decide to stick to red side for this draft as well. I guess looking to get another counter pick. Caitlin might not be a great counter pick, but they're looking to get a counter pick. So let's see what they want to hold on to for that last little spot and keep it spicy.
Now, I believe Caitlyn was actually the best counter pick in that game.
Was it, Mister Warehouse Military Man?
Yes, 100%. I stick by it. I stick by my guns and my
What
gut.
what training regiment would you give both of these teams if you could?
Every death, you get 10 push ups. Every tower destroyed, you do 20 sit ups. Every objective taken, you get, what's the 15 squats, right? Air squats.
I think it's every advantage you get as a jungler that you don't take. You need to just give the enemy team some gold. So every time you screw up an invade and not get anything for it or not get any pressure on the map, give up 100 gold. And I think if that was the case, then blue side would have won this game by a landslide. They would have had so much gold.
Yeah, yeah, you are true in that fact. But getting into this draft here, we do see the Wukong ban for TM. Well, on the side of TM, and they do pick up the ASOL.
Yeah, immediate pickup on the ASOL. I think if he had had some better ults, the abilities were a little rough to watch, but the champion's so strong right now. You can pretty much pick into whatever mid laner you want. Even with Cassidon, you guys are handshaking the laning phase right now, so it's gonna be a fun time. A Lulu pick again.
Are they going to
So
go with Zeri?
I swear, if you don't pick Zeri on blue side and have a way to suss out that Lulu, then I mean you're gonna have a rough time.
Look, blue side, all you got, just pick the Zeri, man. Just pick it. That or a Zaya. I don't
Take
really
it.
know.
Wow. All right, we're gonna do Nautilus after seeing the Lulu. Cool.
Will we see a Samir, even though she did get nerfed? Maybe a Twitch. You never
Hey,
know.
they got rid of the Kaisa. They knew that that was going to be coming. They grabbed the Nautilus as well, anyways, to try and maintain that pressure. But like they're opting to give up the Zeri. It's interesting to see what Muffins is going to look to put in that B3 slot.
No, I don't. What's the wording for it? I don't. Well, shoot.
Could we get a Trist? No, we're going to get a jungler. What the
Well,
heck?
or a top laner. Maybe this person is. No, I won't say it. I'm not going to say it. Not going to assume. But this could be a Jarvan top or a jungle. It is flexible now in this season. 13.4.
Okay, so we got all right. They're banning the Zeri, so it's very obvious that Memoirs ADC, even though that they have games on Zeri, refuses to take Zeri with Lulu.
So
Okay, all right, cool. We also have a scaling mid, a scaling top, and a scaling support.
we do see the Caitlyn ban
Who
on the
wants
side
to
of the.
see a scaling ADC as well? I guess.
I do.
Um,
Uh,
So okay, well, just looking at these comps, I mean, I think that J4 is a much better pick. You were talking about him before, like J4, super strong jungler still, even after the slight nerf to him this past patch. He's still a great early game jungler. I think it pairs with the Aurelion Soul really well. This Caston's going to be feeling a lot of pain in this early game if Aurelion Soul can get ahead, especially.
holy, see 480C's ban. Holy moly!
Yeah, this is a lot of ADCs. We're looking like a real pro league game right now. Not leaving too much on the board, especially with the Sivir and the Zeri banned for the Lulu. I mean, that's really limiting the champ pool of what they could go here for Memoirs.
Picking up a hacker.
Not
Okay,
getting an ADC.
who's saving it for counter pick, man?
Okay.
But I mean, I don't. I think the Hickram is still a pretty good pick. They might think it's a Jarvan jungle, but I think it's a Jarvan top.
I mean, the only reason you'd want to pick a jungler now and not later is you want to prevent them from picking their jungler. But because you already see the J4, right? So they ban out two ADCs. you don't take an ADC. Now they get to take another ADC away from you.
Yeah, very limiting the champion pool here.
So I don't I'm
And there it is. Predicted game two, Zaya. I think
Zaya ADC.
hasn't locked in. Is it going to lock in? Are we going to see a Zaya? And we
So
will.
so fun fact, Tristana is the hard counter to Zaya. So you gotta love that one. That's fantastic. Uh this is gonna be a rough lane again for bot side. Picking up an early game jungler to try and keep up with the J4, I guess, is not the worst plan in the world. You've got, Hecarim can kind of duel the J4, then just leave. So you've got that going for you. You've got a scaling top lane, a scaling mid lane, and a Lulu Zaya bot lane, which is literally just, hey, Hecarim, come gank our lane, help us out. We can help get you a kill if you come down here. But if they don't get anybody down to that bot lane, they're going to suffer till 6. They just completely suffer in the laning phase. They don't have a fun time until 6.
Yeah, it's going to
So,
be very tough.
what a weird comp. Man, they love picking them strange, don't they, over here? All
Oh,
right,
they
well,
definitely.
you know what? I'm not going to mess with red side because they won game 1. Clearly at this elo it really doesn't matter. We're supposed to be analytical over here and actually like look at what should and shouldn't win, but that's so hard to do with everything that I've just seen. How do you feel about blue side though?
Blue side, I don't like it as much as I did their first comp. Honestly, I'm
Yeah, I
honestly
mean,
favoring EOD more than DM right now.
yeah, I mean, it's very disjointed for both teams. You have somewhat of an engage on Muffins side. They have the J4, they have the Nautilus, they have the Aurelion Soul, they have the Tristana, and then you have Mundo.
He just goes where he pleases.
Yeah, he's gonna be sprinting after Cassidon, saying, "Hey, wait up, let me hit you," and trying to run around the walls to try and catch up to the Cassidon, sprinting away, trying to chase down the Hecarim, and waiting for the Zaya to come down out of ult. So no, I kind of agree with you. If they play like they did last game, I think they have a lot of safety for Memoirs side, and they can play around that safety.
Yeah, Mundo goes where he pleases, like I go where I please on a Saturday night.
Where do you go on a Saturday night?
I don't know. I just go where I please.
Okay, but like I want people to be able to pick you up. So like I want, and especially if they want to buy you drinks, you have to tell them where you'd want to go.
I just go where the wind takes me, man.
I don't know that bar.
It's very nice. It's actually very calming. What a
It's
calming
very
place.
breezy. You got
Yeah.
wind going through your capped hair.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Well,
can't see it, but it kind of just flows in the wind.
this is a very interesting team comp from both sides. We're just waiting for the game to boot up. In the meantime, we're going to go to a quick break and we'll see you guys all in game.
See you there.
Welcome back to this beautiful game that we're getting into. We are going for a level 1 invade on blue side with the Nautilus pick. Gotta love
30
it.
seconds
People
until ring
trying.
spawn.
Of course, that's what you got to do on Nautilus. You just got to go in, man.
Just gotta wing it, man.
Oh,
Oh, and they're
flash
winging
two.
it.
Going into the. Oh, look at that flag, baby. That flag. Tristana jumping in with the ignite. Zaya just queuing over to one. She is
Yeah,
down.
first
First
blood.
blood.
That's exactly what you want to see. You invade on Nautilus, going in, Enemy team's not ready for it. 5 pointing Lulu's hand off the keyboard, hypothetically going to the bathroom and not telling her teammates, from what I was hearing from the pause. Free longsword onto the Tristana. That feels great. That
No,
feels so much better.
it was actually the mid laner going P. So
Oh well, yeah, that's true. But like, let's be honest. We were looking at last draft and we were saying, hey, it should function like this, right? We're looking at this draft and we're saying, hey, bot lane's got the Tristana Nautilus. They can go for those pick plays. They can kill that one person very quickly, immediately going to that game plan. And I love seeing that. I love seeing a game plan executed for once.
yep, it is a very feels good moment, as you'd say.
You gonna stay in that accent the entire time?
What are you talking about?
That one, the one you're using right now.
What accent are you talking about?
That one, the cowboy one that's
Man,
from like Red Dead Redemption rather than True American History. Yeah, that one.
I don't know what you're talking about per se, but
Here, just speak up louder. Just make sure that everybody can hear you when you're using it.
I don't know what he's saying, but we're gonna continue on.
This is still Gooby, by the way. This is the same person that was doing play-by-play last time.
Oh, that was actually my brother. Give me, I'm Gami.
You're Gami?
Yeah, I'm
All
Gami.
right.
But back to the game. Lulu's getting chunked out pretty hard, and she has to just pop a hell pie, and then
yeah, that level two power spike for Nautilus, able to go in, get the auto reset on W, and Lulu almost blowing her life away, including both summoners, trying to avoid some death and giving another kill over to the Tristana. I mean, that's exactly how this lane should be going till 6. All of their safety, all of their utility is reliant on their Hecarim ganking them, being able to give him the movement speed from the Lulu and giving the shield on him so that Zai can get a potential root off on her E. But like until that happens, this Nautilus can do whatever the heck he wants. Zaya does not have the safety that she wants to have in this lane. But Hecarim deciding to path towards top side.
Yeah, it is just a free lane in the bot lane right now.
Yeah, you're pathing towards the top side Cho'Gath that's going to be pushing into the Mundo instead of pathing towards that bot side that's very volatile. So
Yeah,
great job, junglers. Way to use that jungle advantage. I always love to see it. They saw those nerfs on 13.4 and they're like, well, that means we can't do anything now.
Yep. The Lulu's getting chunked out again. Ignite used, but root coming in for the Zaya. Very good root.
Yeah, it was a nice little turnaround from the side of ADC on Memoirs' side. See? Coleslaw just running through mid lane, saying hi, letting the enemy jungler know what lane that he can gank and what not to gank. And I mean, Blue needs to leave here.
Yeah,
Come on, crit. Come on, crit. See the horse. See the horseman.
Nah, I don't see no horseman.
Well, crit does.
I sure hope he does.
He should. A lot of pressure down on this blue side that they want to try and alleviate and reduce. They did see the horse coming down towards bot lane. Not going to respect it. Hecarim going in here.
Hecarim going in. Tristana jumping away. Hecarim just pushes her away, but they get onto the Nautilus and picks up a kill for Tempest KTL.
Yeah, Crit and Eric kind of caught with their pants down there. Saw the horse moving towards bot lane. Didn't want to check on the status of his position. Aurelion Sol's not going to get knocked out of his E in time there, bud.
Unfortunately, took a tower shot there, which was very bad.
Yeah. Yep, doesn't feel great. I mean, this is exactly the same thing that we saw from last game from Coleslaw. We saw him making a lot of aggressive plays, and then that was it. It was the aggressive move into the jungle, the aggressive gank towards the mid, and then not having anything actually accomplished here.
Well, coming in,
all right, just coming in for the security, getting the cast in and out. I mean, it's a 1v2. He needs to give this up. He's never going to have anything done here. No. But like this bot side needs his help. We need to send a bat signal from the bot lane to this Hecarim. Get into his mind and say, hey, free gank.
Go ahead and do the little...
All you can eat.
Just do the clicks, to get the horse to come down there.
Do you know all about those?
No, I don't actually ride horseback. I drive a Ford.
The Ford Mustang,
No,
but it's a horse.
it. But I don't. Oh,
It's a Mustang.
oh, are
You
you
know.
rude? No,
Well, I
no,
was I was assuming your background from your accent.
no, I
Was that
don't drive.
impolite? Was that
No,
impolite by Southern standards, Southern
I
hospitality?
I unfortunately don't drive a Ford Mustang, nor do I drive a Ford F-250.
No,
I drive
that's
a
a
Ford Fusion.
fortunate thing.
I mean, I do get
Casson
good
coming
guess.
down here though.
Castor coming in for a gank. He's level 6. Zaya just going in, tries to get the root off, but Tristana jumps in, tries to get the damage onto the Zaya. She has to jump away, but is exhausted. Can't quite finish the kill. Castor is trying to get the kill onto the Tristana. Can he get the ult off onto her? Oh, gets the ult off, gets the kill. Jarvan Flash. Lulu Shield. He survives for now, but Acel's down here too. Doing this his ultimate, and he has to flash away too. Doesn't quite get the ultimate onto the Zaya, and they're just getting chased down right now. Lulu flashing in, getting the kill off for the slow. She gets the kill on the Nautilus.
Casson didn't die.
I had the Lulu shield him. Very
I
good.
I okay, well first of all, let's back up. So we see the Cassidon roaming against an Aurelian soul. That right there should give alarm bells every single time. Oh wow, J4's going in on the Lulu now.
Darvin trying to go in, trying to do something right here. He doesn't have flash, which could be a kill, but Lulu just
No,
following.
no, no, no. It's not going to be a kill, but so Cassidon, first of all, out roaming an Aurelian soul. Second of all, he's over there saying, "Hey, jungler, this is the lane. This is the lane you need to be going to," giving them some pressure, ganking the bot side when J4 was 10 feet away from him on Krugs. They see the Cassidon roaming down from mid lane. They see the Cassidon on top of the Tribush ward. And yet, with all of that, Muffins still does not make the play to kill the Cassidon. Cassidon doesn't even die that entire fight. It's insanity to me how much Memoirs was able to get out of that gank down there from a Cassidon with the Hecarim showing up about 20 seconds after the fact.
Now it was a very good gank and a very good attempt to try to kill the Castron, but it didn't go through. It just fell through.
Yeah, weren't able to execute it quite right. Tristana looking at the horseman.
And yeah, it doesn't quite see him because he hasn't used a blast cone yet, but he's
Yeah,
still sitting
it's
there waiting.
that must have
Menacingly.
looked odd to the Hecarim, seeing the Tristana walk up, not throwing vision, thinking that she might know something that he does not know.
Ooh, trying to get some pressure in the bot lane right now. Zaya
Yeah,
just autoing right now. Doesn't
yeah,
quite
he's
get
just
the
gonna
root off.
guess. He's just guessing,
And
and Hecarim going in.
Hecarim has to ult out, but the Ignite is thrown down onto the Hecarim just to get some good poke off, get him back and away.
Wow, what a whole lot of nothing.
Yep, definitely a whole lot of nothing.
Just a big ball of nothing. So level advantage on the Castaner right now, which is very impressive. He was able to get that kill down in the bot lane when he did roam down. Able to pick up the last little ult from him right before J4 came in. J4 wasn't able to kill him in that moment. Is coming back to the lane with an experience advantage, just about a half a level. And now they're looking for a play again on the Zaya, who might be caught out.
Zaya does have the ultimate, does pop the ultimate, but can't quite do anything with it. Tristana pops the ultimate onto the Zaya too, getting the kill. Crick picking up the kill onto Zaya.
Yeah, that's a dead bird lady as Tristana throws an E on top of her head and she tries to ult away from that damage. Still gonna die because that's what Tristana does. But you picked Zaya after Tristana, which leads me to believe that you don't know that the E kind of follows you.
Definitely probably a misplay in the draft.
Muffins is using their bot lane as they should with trying to get these pick plays in the early game, with trying to get this Tristana ahead. Both teams lagging behind where they should be in terms of giving the spot lane pressure. I mean, you look at both junglers, right? You see the J4 pick with a Tristana Nautilus. That is such a free avenue to be able to go down bot lane and get stuff done. You can even go mid lane with J4, help the Aurelion Soul push, and then you have 4-man in bot lane, right? Lulu and Zaya shouldn't be able to play the game. On the flip side, if you're playing Hecarim, you can just sprint down bot lane, gank repeatedly because Tristana will always be auto shoving the lane on E. So if you ever see her pushing, you now have quite a bit of time to just run down there, get a little bit of alleviate some of the pressure. Maybe burn some summoners, burn some abilities, give the Zaya and Lulu some breathing room, and maybe if you have your ult up, pick up a kill. But we don't see the junglers, either of them, executing that play. And I am emphasizing the word executing because they are trying to do that stuff, but not getting anything done.
But we do see the Rift Herald did get picked up by red team. Could be very good if it be sent in the bot lane and get that little dive off.
Yeah, he's been holding on to the Rift Arrow for a bit. He did come down bot lane with it and wasn't able to find a good spot to drop it. It might be a little bit rough, especially when his bot lane's getting shoved in over and over. They're not able to get that vision needed to make the J4 ganks not a problem for the red side bot lane, and so they're just worried about the return gank from him when they go to drop this Rift Herald. But yeah, he needs to get that down soon. J4 is trying to use that advantage in the bot side to get the other lanes going right now, it seems.
Yep, and other than that, not too much going on right now as of the current time. Just a little back and forth here and there. Hecarim trying to look for a game of the volley and pops the ultimate. Doesn't quite hit anyone.
Yeah, it's a bit tough for him. He didn't quite wait long enough. Tristana's lane was pushing. The wave state was pushing into red side. If he'd waited just a couple more seconds, I think he would have had a fantastic gank there. J4 looking mid, though. Cassin, kind of a tough one to gank now that he's level 9.
This lane, Cassin is just a tough lane to gank in general. And you just blink away in the blink of an eye.
Yeah, we're going to do some ARAM here, though. Get the ARAM music playing. Same thing as basketball. Same thing as basketball. Just push that ball. Push that basketball of a Rift Herald down that lane. Yeah, way to use your early game advantage. Get that Rift Herald down, pop that eye, get some gold back over to the enemy team. Just trade it right back.
That was very unfortunate. They didn't get to crash off on that Shelly.
Yep, advantage back, y'all. One Hecarim this time.
Oh my goodness. What am I going to do with him, man?
I don't know. I'm making too many music references that nobody gets these days.
Oh, a good flash, but it was into the end between.
Yeah, the Zaya flashed.
I mean, she survived. I mean,
she survived. She survived. We're gonna give it to her. Yeah, we'll grade it later.
Give her a benefit of doubt.
Yeah, with the peer review. I'm gonna get flamed in Twitch chat no matter what I say. Anyways, it seems so. I can do my best here and just say, hey, Zaya, you didn't die, but you burnt your flash and you lost control of the lane state. Again, you also are down 30 farm. So in terms of this Hecarim, seeing the J4 down here, that was a great ward. Whoever placed that ward in the middle bush, being able to spot out that lane gank, great ward. Fantastic ward. Trying to keep that lane state safe. I'm going to blame it on Dahaz just because they do have the support item right now that is giving the wards. So I'm going to pin it on him. We can check it later. But this is going to be a roaming band of thieves as they come to the mid lane, trying to get a play onto a Cassin who does have ult and flash available to him.
Yeah, he's a slippery snake. Can't really catch him.
What is your experience with slippery snakes, by the way? I mean, do you see a lot of snakes in backcountry?
Yeah, I see plenty of snakes, but most of the rattlesnakes, which is very unfortunate. I gotta get them with like a little BB, you know.
Yeah, little going for a ward in this tri-bush, I guess, and not realizing that Muffins had rotated most of their team back down after looking mid. This is going to be free dragon over to Muffins after that play.
I mean, I wouldn't really be too worried about it. It's only the second dragon. I'd just be worried for the next two.
Yeah, I mean, they're giving up a lot of pressure on this mid turret. Cassidy, not normally a champ who's able to clear the first turret, but giving him a lot of time to do so.
Could be a mid turret pickup first here, but you also see Tristana pushing in the bot lane, but she's just gonna go off for a recall.
Yeah, well, she's got 3 kills right now. With Xayah having picked up her mythic, it's going to be clear. Oh, Mundo in a bit of trouble.
Going in for a dive, but
I mean, you're
doesn't really
diving a
do.
Mundo, so that went about as much as a rattlesnake in a jar of honey.
Nah, not gonna be too long. I get
I'm
what
I'm
you're
just
saying.
trying to use your language right now. I'm just trying to assimilate myself into your culture.
Oh, I appreciate it, man. I'm not gonna take
Yeah.
two offense for that because I see you're trying.
Yeah, exactly. And that's all that matters in this world right now is that you at least try.
Yes, sir.
Now this Lulu on the other hand
She just
is
just Tristana beat
not trying to stay alive right now.
that pullback doesn't really quite get anyone under the
See,
turret.
that was about as good of an idea as using snake as floss in the mouth of an alligator.
Uh,
And
he
you can
tried there,
talk to
but
that woman who got eaten by an alligator instead of her pet dog that was on the news last week.
wait, what?
Yeah. Some old lady was walking her dog and she got eaten, not her dog. So, it's a rough time.
That's very interesting.
That is how that Lulu feels.
That's very it feels bad man moment right there. And
It's just
I'd be
just
very
why? Why do
upset.
you why do you do this accent, Gomi?
What are you talking about, man?
Can you bring your brother back? Can Gumi come back?
I guess
I'll
I can
pay
go get
you.
him.
I'll pay
Okay,
you.
what we talking here? What kind of change are we talking about?
French fries.
What
I'll
kind of
get you
French fries?
French fries. Well, what do you want?
What kind of French fries are you talking about?
I don't care. I'll buy you any French fries. I just want Gumi back. Bring him out of the warehouse basement that you have him locked in.
He's not locked in any basement. He's a free
That's
man like I
exactly where
am.
he's locked in. What are you talking about?
He ain't locked in no basement.
You said you got rid of him so that you could replace him with a quote unquote better version of voice accent.
I didn't say.
Zai's getting engaged. Talk about it.
Oh my goodness! What the heck? I completely missed it. Not gonna lie, but Zaya did just get popped by the Tristana. I'm assuming with her jumping in and I was
Yeah,
looking not to
crit,
close that.
crit. Remembered what happened last game? He said, no. You guys are going to make me the carry. You're going to give me the gold. You're going to give me the Nautilus and the J4. We're going to get some stuff done in these early game fights. Tristana pressing forward with her advantage. That is a 5-1 Tristana with a full item advantage over the Xayah. That's got to feel really good for him.
Oh yeah, definitely. That's very one scary little girl right there. And
Yeah,
my niece is pretty scary.
we see a J4 ult getting used on a Cassidy.
10 out of 10. Would recommend.
That is something I would not recommend. You are correct.
Oh, we see Crit just blowing up Hecarim along with the Skies Descend onto the Ace. And Crit's just firing.
Yeah, this is a shooting gallery for the Tristana right now. Cassin trying to get some work done, but I don't think he's got the damage to be able to execute her. She's going to turret deep for that kill.
Holy moly, Crit just does not care.
And this is when it's tough to play Cassidy, is when the rest of your team is dead and you have no mana. Gray Power Van just walking out of that fight about as sour as a biscuit in a lemon.
Yeah, that would be pretty sour.
That would
Also,
be.
like, you're gonna have to get some water for that too. That's like,
Yeah, I can't imagine it being a very pleasant biscuit.
you know, I had it one time as a dare, and it did not go well. I almost choked on
I
that
can't,
thing.
I can't imagine it going well. But this is going to be a free Baron or Dragon of their pleasing going over to Muffin right now. Man, that is an 8-1 Tristana after that team fight. Just setting the dominoes to just knock him down as pins later on. I mean, just whatever game you want to have where you set things up and knock them down, that's what Tristana's getting right now.
She's basically playing a game of Jenga.
I mean, going back to it, the Mundo pick with this comp is still so odd. He's just kind of walking through, hoping to participate in these fights. I mean, it looked like it was more of a hey, you're gonna sit top lane, you're gonna get the farm up there, but you're just more up there to kind of prevent the Cho'Gath from doing anything. And Tristana just playing the game how she wants with this double engage support jungle, and Aurelion Sol being happy as a clam, just kind of spitting fire. The the stars at the enemy team, putting some damage down. But yeah, this is a show of crit right now.
Yeah,
Doesn't surprise me, especially after game one, seeing it go this way.
the crit is definitely 1v9 this game.
Yeah.
All they gotta do is shut down crit. Might be a little difficult, but
Yeah, yeah. It's gonna be real tough for Memoirs. I mean, they have a full scaling comp except a Hecarim. So Hecarim's gonna be running in here, hoping for the best. Especially with them being behind, they want to catch these waves, but like Hecarim, the longer this game goes, J4 is gonna benefit from that, you know?
yeah, and they're catching out Shoguns right now. Crit just firing. There's
Yeah,
gonna be crit.
they lost sight of Muffins, and the Shogath ignored it.
And times like that, you can't ignore danger. It's like
You can't.
when you smell, like
What?
how you like smell when it's about to rain. You can't ignore it. You know it's going to rain.
Rain is dangerous to you?
Well, it's not really dangerous to me.
Well, you were
Dangerous
talking
to
about
others.
like smelling danger.
Yeah, because I know what danger smells like, but some people don't. But Hecarim going in trying to get that.
That's a steal for that
Steals
room!
from Baron. Oh my lord!
Coleslaw getting the smite off, keeping this game going. Maybe this buys them the time they need to get the golden back in their pockets.
And
What a
Gray-
play! No, get the
Gray-
turret. Get the turret. Thank
Gray
you.
also picked up that solo kill on the A soul. You know what? If I was red team right now, I'd be as happy as a snake in a chicken coop.
Blue team's turret.
Do snakes eat chickens?
I mean, they eat the eggs.
Oh, you're right. You're right. You're right. You're absolutely right. Actually, I'm
Hmm.
pretty sure there's specific snakes that do that too. But anyways, as a lover of snakes, I have to comment when somebody brings it up. But I mean that smite from Hecarim just makes the game go longer, and that's all the comp for Memoirs wants right now is just to have this game go a little bit longer. That Cassidy hit that level 13 power spike, right? Like that is such a massive level for him. He's got his rod, he's got his seraphs, the seraphs completed. He's building out the hourglass next. This Cassidy, if they can team fight, is going to be an absolute menace. If he can get that access onto the Tristana. The avenues to get that access, however, is incredibly difficult. I mean, they're going to be waiting for Muffins to engage into them, dodge as much as they can, try to survive Tristana's upfront damage. Oh, we got another one.
Lulu just caught out, and Crit just blows her up, man.
Lulu attracted to Nautilus's hooks.
But that's upsetting.
Yeah, I mean, that's the fourth one in a row.
Man, I'd be as upset as a cow in a trailer park.
I thought cows like trailer parks.
Blue team's turret.
Well, not when they're in a tornado.
Oh, true. He didn't say that part, though.
I mean, I thought it'd be assumed, but Cass can pick up a solo kill on the A soul, man.
Killing
Yeah, I mean, Casson can just run down the Acel at this point. He's got all of the items he ever needs in that matchup.
That's all he needs, man. I mean, he can just build Volcanic for all I care.
As I mentioned before this game starts, I mean, a lot of their game plan was, hey, we need to prevent this game from getting to 25 minutes. But on the flip side, that's exactly what Cassidon wants as well. Aurelion Sol also wants this game to go long, but right now he is not the star of the show. His gold is significantly behind the Cassidons. All of it is on that Tristana, able to get those picks in team fights, able to burst down the one target. She's got the IE, she's got the Ghost Blade. I mean, or Phantom Dancer. She's got the Phantom Dancer. She's got the ability to kill somebody very quickly, and you do not have a front line other than the Cho'Gath. And as front lines go, Cho'Gath is going to want to split push. He's if he ever is in one of these fights, he's got the Aurelion Sol to deal with. He's got the J4 to deal with, who's just going to blow right past him, get on top of the Lulu, get on top of the Xayah. They have to burn summoners. The Cho'Gath tank is not the tank that they need.
No, unfortunately not. And it's kind of ironic how the person that makes stars and everything isn't the star of the show. It's quite funny, honestly.
Yeah.
Oh,
Tristana
Tristana jumping on the
1v1-ing.
basket with a get exhausted, but Hecarim comes in right now, trying to get onto Tristana, but can't quite get onto Tristana. Too much CC. Gets a kill. Crit gets a kill on the Hecarim. Castle trying to go in, assassinate the Tristana, but can't do anything either because Mundo was just back there. He's just burning. Flash Q coming from the Mundo, but he just goes away.
Lulu getting hooked again!
Oh my lord, she just loves them hooks, man.
Yeah, she sure does.
And she loves those hooks more than I love country ham.
Is there a difference
love
between country ham and normal ham?
Yeah, change from the country.
What?
Hey, you got your normal ham and you got your country ham.
That doesn't make any sense. Literally any pig that you get the ham from is gonna come from the country.
But it's not processed.
I mean,
If you get
maybe
it
not
straight
to the same level, but it's still cleaned.
I mean, think of it like this. If you
This
get,
is ridiculous. Why
if you
am I
get-
even getting caught up on this? Like,
no,
it's ham,
listen, if you get
No.
ham from the country, right? It
right?
doesn't go through all that mumbo jumbo, all that manufacturing stuff and all the technical doohads, right? If you get it from the country, you get it straight from your farmer.
Pork is my least favorite meat other than bacon.
That's, I mean, it's come from
Every
the
other form of pork is incredibly boring. You
That's
can
like
quote me
saying-
on that.
That's like saying you like ketchup but you hate tomatoes.
No, it's the opposite.
Well, yeah, bacon and pork, it's the same thing.
It means I'm saying I like tomatoes but not ketchup.
No, the other way around. Saying you like ketchup but hate tomatoes.
No. It's the other way around because more people have ketchup than they have tomatoes.
Yeah.
Sadly.
You get what I'm saying.
And
though,
I
right?
blame the FDA working with scientists to promote the really corrupted food pyramid back in the 90s. But anyways, Caston trying to run down a dragon.
Aston was level 16. And let's see, we got the stars coming down from the big old dragon, but it doesn't quite hit anyone.
Does it hit different? Does it actually hit different? That dude Deku.
Team's turret has been destroyed.
Doesn't matter. We got Aurelion Sol's ult that's down for a team fight that could be perfectly placed for it, and Tristan is just looking for a pick on the
Oh
Caston.
my goodness, look at that damage. Oh my goodness, big engage coming from blue team, but they forget the
Tristana's dead.
Tristan is blown up. This could be the game-winning fight. Zaya's in the back right now. Mundo's also in the back, just trying to kill the Zaya, but they're just leaving him alone. Hecarim just goes in, man. Mundo's still
Crit,
tanky.
Crit, you can't go that deep, buddy.
No, he's getting sucked in right now. Hecarim trying to look for an angle, but can't quite get in, and they're all super low. Hastel's pretty healthy because
Yeah,
of
neither-
Ghost Control.
Neither team has their queen on the board for their chess game right now, with the Cassidon and the Tristana being dead right now. It's becoming a stalemate of two teams that just don't want to finish anybody off. Oh, Aurelion Sol might picking up a kill here.
Hastel definitely doesn't pick up the kill right here because
Nope,
Hecarim gets away.
he spat his stars in the wrong direction there for a half second.
Hmm.
They're just
That was close, though.
completely in the wrong bush.
Not the start of the show, man.
He's like, oh yeah, I have to point this at the person. Baron going down under wards. Vision picking them up. TP play.
coming in from both solo laners right now.
Yep,
Mundo
we've got.
doesn't have his passive, but
We're gonna
Tristana's
play
here
around this
too, free
Tristana.
firing. Goes in,
Oh,
Sky spin.
wow.
Great power vantage just getting fired upon by
Crit,
the Tristana.
get behind your team. Crit, get
Crit.
behind your team. There you go.
Crit got behind his team. J4 just almost. Oh my goodness, that's just.
And that's a 5 for nothing. There
That
you
is-
go.
That's the game, man.
Yep, Crit is a happy little camper over there, having cleaned up the enemy team, able to get that W off to keep them in the safety of that crevice right behind the jungle. And this is going to be a game-winning push for Muffins. What a great game from Crit. I mean, he put his team on his back, said, stay there. We're going to win this game with my Tristana.
Yeah, they finally found their footing, man.
Yeah, I think a lot of that has to be chalked up to the fact that Lulu just kind of ate a whole bunch of hooks to the face. Tristana getting the lead she wanted in that early game, being able to get that pick in the jungle, setting her so far ahead. Hecarim not playing towards the bot side to help his bot laners out, and us talking about Country Ham to finish off that game for some random reason.
I love me some Contra Hand.
It hits different apparently, according to our Twitch chat.
So Twitch chat knows.
What a crazy game to watch. We do see Muffins picking up the win this time around. Everything going down onto that Tristana, hoping that Crit can pull it off this time. And successfully, they gave their top laner a pick that they cannot possibly be a detriment on with the Mundo pick into the Cho'Gath. Did that help them out? Last game they picked the Volley Bear going into the Cho'Gath to try and stagnate it. This time picking up the Mundo. Do you think that was a real big difference maker in terms of making sure that Crit's team stayed alive longer than their team could stay alive? And maybe that's what they ended up using to win?
I mean, I do think it was a pretty good pick because Mundo is he could just pop ultimate and he could just take forever to kill him, right? And they didn't have necessarily the consistent damage to
Yeah.
kill off the Mundo quick enough, and Tristana was just free firing, which just led this team to the victory.
Yeah, I mean, even with that fantastic steal from Coleslaw's Hecarim, jumping right over the wall, picking up the Baron for his team, giving them that chance to still be scaling. And yet every team fight after that, we see Kassadin going in solo without having a flank on the enemy team, dying to Tristana's burst. I mean, other than Crit having that one weird wonky team fight where he gets stunned up in the massive group that was his team, I think he played that fantastically. I mean, that's really what led them to that victory.
Crit just put the team on his back.
Yep, Crit just put that team on his back. Was that Workhorse? Do you know anything about Workhorse's country yokai version, Gumi?
I do know a thing too about country horses. They're very hard worker and kind of
What do you feed a country horse like Crit? What do you feed them if that's your steed?
Country ham.
All right, we're gonna give Crit more country ham to try and pull off another win for Muffins, taking the game 2 in our series for tonight. We're gonna take a quick break as we get the teams back into the draft and hopefully have a banger of a third game. See you in a bit. We're doing a game 3.
Yep. Surprising. I thought
I know.
Memoirs would have closed us out, but I kicked out Gami.
We got rid of Gami, the Yoko, as I've been corrected. It's Yoko, not Yokai, which is like a Japanese monster. But we're gonna ignore that. We're gonna move past right past that. We have Warehouse Gumi back.
Yep.
It's
Warehouse Gumi's back.
amazing. He's locked in his warehouse, but that is okay. We're going straight into draft. Another immediate ban onto the not Kog'Maw, Kaisa. Starts with a K. Also
You're
from the
almost
void.
there. Almost there.
It's an ADC from the void who starts with a K. Not quite the same though.
Yeah, no, definitely not the same.
No. I mean, just looking back at the draft, jungle has been completely sporadic. It's going to be really tough for us to kind of dictate that's happening. But twice now we've seen Memoirs take a counter on ADC, leaving up the Aurelion Soul. I don't think Aurelion Soul was the difference maker here, but it was probably quite annoying not banning it out, choosing to get rid of the Anivia so that Muffins can try to keep that Aurelion Soul pick in their pocket. Casson did a little bit, but especially into a J4 jungle, really hard to keep that advantage. An Annie B1 pick though.
Okay. Very interesting. And with there we see Muffin still going in with that ASOL. I mean, it's worked out for them
Yeah.
relatively well. So I mean, if it's not broken,
Yeah.
don't fix it.
I mean, well, I mean, you do have the two most broken champions in the mid lane right now as options for both sides, both kind of opting to give each other that power pick. Um, I'm looking to see a good. There we go. We got a good jungler coming down with the Ireland Soul. I think that was a great pick for Muffins in terms of helping the Ireland Soul out. Didn't end up being fantastic into the Lulu and the Cassin, but like it doesn't matter when Crit has 10 kills in the bank.
Yeah,
So
not really. What's the wording for it? I can't quite get it across my mind. Crit did.
Crit did crit things.
Yeah, he crit a
Crit
lot.
did crit a lot. Picking up the Vi to pair up with the Annie and the Cho'Gath again. Wow.
Uh, it's starting to come in my mind that this person might be just play Cho'Gath a lot in the top lane.
I think he might be. I think he's only picking Cho'Gath because that's all he's got. So yeah.
Ah, that is very unfortunate to see.
Yeah. So
Cho'Gath is a really, I don't, in
w-
my personal opinion, he's not a really good top laner.
he is. You are seeing the Mundo come down. They just want to give that back over to their top laner. You know, hey, it worked the game too, as in terms of handshaking the lane, making sure the Cho'Gath wasn't able to get too much of an aggressive lead up there. They're gonna take it again. You know, just letting him be the weak side, letting that J4 get some picks around the mid lane for their own soul, get those picks around the bot lane for crit, making sure that he's got the lead that he wants to have with a lot of these champions. I mean, give him a power pick. They get rid of the Tristana immediately.
Yep, they
He
did
can't take
think
it this time. All right, well let's go look. Let's go look at your OP, buddy. Um,
that it was a very
all
detrimental
right,
part
Crit.
of the
What do we
game.
got? What are we working here with? We got a Kaisa player. We've got a Tristana player. We got a Jinx player. A Zaya player. Varus is still on the board. I'm pretty sure.
Yep, Varys is
Yeah,
still on the board,
Varus.
but
Varus. But they're picking the Zaya away. Not wanting to see that. For Memoirs. A little bit harder to carry on. A little bit harder for Crit to be able to put his team on his back. Yeah, that would be the
you see this berry pick for Tempest KTL there.
yeah, that's a pretty good match into the Zaya. Zaya's gonna have a tough time trying to keep up with her in team fights, relying on that J4 to keep her locked down long enough. But I mean, as soon as the J4 ult comes out, Zeri just leaves the pit. So it's going to be just tough to stay on top of the enemy ADC, make sure they're staying out of this game. They've got a Mundo as well, who's not going to provide any other real sustained CC onto the Zeri, just being a big meat shield for her to rip through. We got to see an aggressive support coming out here, I guess, if they want to get crit that lead that they had last time.
Yeah, probably picking the Nautilus is banned.
I'd
I
like to see a Leona.
yeah, I could see a Leona pick coming. Help.
I think Leona, I think Alistair's also a super great pick. They pulled it out game one. He was able to get some good plays on it. Works well with the Zaya. It's okay into the Zeri. Oh, a
Oh, a
Blitzcrank.
Blitzcrank. Okay, we're gonna see
Okay. Okay. All
probably
right.
another level one coming out. Of course, that's what you
Yeah.
do on Blitzcrank or even on Nautilus. Thresh
Yeah,
anyone with a
not
hook.
not a terrible bot lane to have. I'm pretty proud of you guys. You've both learned some things. You've got the Karma paired up with the Vi and the Annie. I think that's awesome. You have Zeri with the Karma as well. This is fantastic bot lane. You know what? Much better comps from both teams. I think they're both playing towards their win conditions. They're both playing towards the champions that they want to help out with. Uh, these are great comps for once.
Yep. Now for EOD, do you think it's going to be any support or any mid? Because I'm pretty sure I already know the answer to that one.
I mean, they can flex it both ways, especially into Aurelion Soul. All you really want to do is make sure you have the shove, especially early game. You want to make sure that he cannot shove out against you by popping E, popping Q, waves gone. So I think either champion is able to get that to work, but I think I would rather see the Annie lane into the Blitzcrank rather than the Karma lane into the Blitzcrank, right? So
Yeah.
I would personally rather see the Karma go mid and then opt to put the Annie in the bot side of the map. It helps out with the Zeri as well still and provides a deterrent for the bush pressure against the Blitzcrank. But like, it's whatever you want to do.
Well, I can in fact confirm that is an Annie mid and a Karma support.
That's unfortunate.
I mean,
Well,
I do know Gray is he does play Annie mid lane a lot with the Annie buffs. It's pretty good
yeah.
for him now.
Yeah, I mean, it's still going to be a really good power pick in the mid lane. Annie and Vi able to get some real heavy work done, especially into the Aurelion Soul early game. Compared to what they were doing last game and the game before that, I think these mid jungle pairings are so much better. I mean, J4 Aurelion Soul, Vi Annie, both of them picking him up early in the draft, trying to match each other in pressure. You've got the Mundo, which showed success against the Cho'Gath in top lane. Cho'Gath still being a comfort pick for him, so both perfectly good picks. And then you see the bot lane, right? You got the scaling side, which is keeping up with the early aggression from the Vi and the Annie. You got the scaling there. You have the Karma to buff up with so many different things. Uh, Karma can help with the engage from Vi, keep anybody alive, give Zeri the shield. The biggest coin flip is the Blitzcrank. Blitzcrank is the biggest question mark because if you can succeed on that champion, uh, you're going to be able to set these plays up for Muffins.
Yep, it could I could see it. I agree with you on the Blitzcrank being a coin flip because he can either A hook the AD carry or people who actually want to be hooked into the enemy team to you, or you'll just be hooking, a big wall of meat with the Cho'Gath or Vi, and it's just not going to do a whole lot for you in this situation.
Yeah, if you pull a Cho'Gath into your team will automatically start flaming you. That's just how it is.
Yep. Very unfortunate if he does, though.
Especially with a champion that wants to who or is forced to walk at you. You know, Blitzcrank just gives you a free pass in with the train ride and a free stack of country ham right on top of that in the form of a sitting duck Zaya. So uh yeah, Blitzcrank is a ride or die champion, and we're gonna hope that he rides rather than dies with a lot of these engages.
One can only hope.
Yep. So both drafts very interesting. I'm much happier with these comps. I think there's a lot more to work with here, but we're going to be putting ourselves in a short little break while we load up into the game. So see you in there.
Welcome back to Summoner's Rift for game number 3 of EOD versus TM, and we see right off the
30
bat
seconds until minions
TM is
spawn.
going in for that level 1, and we see a ward dropped on blue side to make sure they don't make the same mistake twice.
Yeah, but they've already got some vision spotting him out, so we're gonna have Memoirs just gotta back up off of them, not letting them have anything.
Oh, are they gonna? They threw a flag in that bush just to make sure, see if anyone is in there, see if they can get a cheeky hook off.
It doesn't seem like Memoirs wants to defend this too hard. They know that they have to have some
Minions have
scaling from the
spawned.
Annie, they have to have some scaling from the Zeri to really make those picks worthwhile. So just gonna force Muffins to just kind of back out of here slowly.
Yeah. Don't get that first blood on the Zaya or Asol or pretty much anyone doesn't get first blood on the side of red team,
Hey,
and they're
they know though that if they get crit that kill that he needs, he can carry the game. So like I don't hate it at all. You know, him just walking in, trying to get the advantage that they had last time.
yep. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me.
Shame on me, yeah. So, just gonna be starting off with some vertical jungling here. Hello there.
Yep.
Wow, not gonna collapse onto the Mundo, try and burn any summoners or flash when you have the Vi there, able to engage on that.
Yep. I mean, they would have to get through that Mundo passive, which would negate him maybe flashing possibly, but other than that, I mean that's actually not too bad. They put a ward there. Cole puts a ward onto his Raptors to see King going up to his top side to where they have that information.
Yeah, she also wants to opt towards taking not her Q if she's trying to do that first clear too. So he doesn't want to slow that down, but you know, Zaya and Blitzcrank having just so much pressure down here at the level 1, such a terrifying support champ to deal with.
Yep, and we see
Jungler looking at
King
some aggression.
King looking for a gank mid lane, but doesn't quite see the angle on the Annie because Annie does have that stun to stop J4 in his tracks.
Yeah, I think she was holding on to it unintentionally, but I mean, it's still a great deterrent. Oh no, Jungler realizing, guys, you guys let them have my jungle? What?
Yep, and it looks like he's going back for another gank in the mid
And he
lane.
has no stun.
He gets knocked up. Asol's just burning through him, but just gets the flash from the Annie, which is a good trade.
Not quite the range needed to finish off the Annie with the last tick from Q. Gonna walk out after having burned a flash for it, though. Great gank on the mid lane after seeing his Raptors and Red Gun, though. You know, trying to get a consolation prize out. Was able to get the Summoner spell for it.
Yep, and we see Karma does get hooked. Crit does get the root off and the ignite onto the Karma, but she just walks away, not expending any summoners.
Blitzcrank shoving his fist into her face, grabbing her and yanking her back for the Zaya to pick up some more damage on the bot side. A lot of aggressive plays from Muffins. Oh no, is this a dead Zeri?
Blitzcrank flash to get the knockup, and Zeri just flashes away and ease over the turret to get away.
More summoners burned for Memoirs right now. You know, Annie dealing with a bit of a deficit in mid lane, having been ganked from the J4. Blitzcrank hauling back the Karma and the Zeri now with 2 successful Qs. And guess what Vi's doing? Clearing.
You know, getting that CS lead on the Jarvan, a 22 CS lead.
12.
12?
12.
12.
Yeah.
Math.
Yeah. Math hard.
Math do be hard.
Math go hard for country brain Gumi.
What are you talking about? I'm not from the
I'm
country.
sorry, you're not country
thinking-
brain Gumi anymore. My bad. My bad.
You're thinking of my brother.
I'm insulting the deep lore of Gumi and his camera background right now.
I am offended that you
Yeah,
think being in a
as-
warehouse makes me
As
look
you
at
should
that.
be. As anybody should be.
Because joke's on you, being in a warehouse doesn't affect my math skills. I just not good at math.
Hey, I mean, Vi was able to get a decent amount of experience taken away from the J4. She is sitting on a 2-level lead right now, having stolen those camps over. Wow, Cho'Gath getting some good damage down on the Mundo.
Almost getting that kill and probably got to force him to the TP back, but probably catch this wave, not lose any experience.
Yeah, he's going to need to burn that TP. Hopefully, the Vi can be up here to try and commit a bit of a dive on him. He does not have ult right now. Cho'Gath has such a massive lead in terms of plating as well against him. Not having as good of a game 3 as a game 2. Zeri looking to roam.
Trying to shut down that Acel.
I guess. So just talking about like champions game plans and like what you want out of that champion, how you should play them to optimize the champion. It's weird to me to see this Zeri even doing a roam at all when you're sitting on a 20 farm, math's hard, 20 farm deficit against the Xayah Blitzcrank bot lane. I mean, you got to let them have the bot side of the map. You got to let them have these dragons, especially when you know your jungler's not even down there. Getting a little bit antsy here on the side of Memoirs bot lane.
Yeah, they're just trying to get crit those skills to where he can carry, get a 1v9 play going right now.
Yeah, poor J4 tried to find some gold on the map. Might have to go for another kill attempt on this Annie to try and even back up the gold. Again, still lagging behind a level. Big bait from she has no stun. Is this the gank from the J4?
Nope, J4 just opposite the back.
Okay. All right. Fun time for Bonzo. Letting the Annie get back into the game. Annie still waiting for her flash coming back off cooldown. I mean, that would have been a free game for the J4 had he stayed. Opting instead to be safe and let your lead go. Interesting.
Yeah. Vi did ding 6, or she does have that 2-level advantage on the Jarvis. She can look for those ganks.
Yeah,
Very
she's gonna
well
be a powerhouse on the map right now. Just waiting for Annie to have her stun up, have Tibbers up, and know where J4 is.
And he does have the stun up, but does it goes in for the stun, just get a little damage off. The electrocute proc goes on.
Aurelion Soul can't do much about this. He's dwindling down on mana right now. Has to use his TP to probably get back to this lane, get his experience back. Annie shoving him out for now, but I mean that's to be expected. Mana versus non-mana on 2 AP champs. It's just how it works.
Yep, Acel TPing back just to catch the wave to stay in line and experience as does Annie.
It's weird to see two very early game champions in the jungle with two very different executions of similar plans. You know, Vi going and getting a lot of invades done, clearing her camps afterwards. J4 looking for a lot of ganks, especially on this mid lane. Not really succeeding. I think Vi's pulling ahead of him by a decent margin, bit by bit. Now a 20 farm lead in the jungle and almost a level and a half ahead.
Yep. And J4 is went for the invade onto the Vi's blue buff, getting the blue buff too.
We do see the Annie roaming on this ward. Not going to be able to get too much done with Aurelion Soul trying to match it. Oh, do you want to match it? Okay. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Okay. All
Flash
right.
Shivers does not land. But Jarvan also
Yeah.
failed his flash combo too.
What a weird play. Trying to force the Aurelion Soul out of his ult. Trying to get this J4 now.
Yep, electrocute
Nothing.
rock, that's about it.
Cool. Fun. Awesome. Well,
Paper's just calling.
Annie has attempted to go for two different fights now, having no success on both of them. Fight in the bot lane.
Zeri pops the ultimate, just firing onto the Xayah, but Xayah is getting more damage onto her because of the Ignite ticking down on her.
This is a lot of weird plays right now where people are trying to do things and then either not committing fully, not having people on the same wavelength.
Yep.
And just kind of staring each other down afterwards. I mean, Annie didn't have mana after this play she attempted to make. And now even if her Vi, which does have a gold advantage on the J4, it comes mid with that ult, she can't do anything to help the Vi.
No,
So-
not at all.
Literally waiting 5 seconds, waiting for your jungler to get there so that you can actually do a nice little 2v2 would succeed in getting you the kill. But again, people getting antsy, trying to force things that aren't really going to work out. Hey, that's what happens game 3.
Yep, they're just all the nerves are getting to them right now, and they just gotta take a step back, take a breather, and just get their minds collected and figure out the game plan.
Yeah, right now looking at a 30 farm lead on the Xayah right now. Crit doing incredibly well this game, especially with the Blitzcrank, keeping the Karma from helping the Zeri shove out the lane, or at least evening up the lane state. Zeri missing out on quite a bit of farm and experience right now as well, but sorry, not experience, just gold.
Yep.
Another dragon coming up though. I don't know if Memoirs are ready to take this or not, but I guess J4 is going to let them have it.
They're sitting in the bush waiting to see if someone will come
This
by, and they
is-
do see the Jarvan. Vi goes in for a Q, and he gets a stun, misses the Q on the Vi though, but he still dies, and he getting the kill on the Jarvan.
J4, you knew they were walking into your jungle. You knew they were trying to get that pressure back.
Oh, a bit of a pinch. Vi misses the Q again. Blitzcrank pops
Oh,
ultimate,
no.
and he's just blown up, but Karma gets the root onto the Blitzcrank, flash onto both the jungler and the carry, but crit flash pulls back onto for the double
Oh my
kill.
goodness, is he gonna get the third? Holy
Oh,
lordy,
Blitzcrank,
Paul!
nice hook. Crit getting a triple kill.
3 kills onto Crit's Xayah. This is beautiful and a great little yank at the end just to secure it. Just a little cherry on top, pulling the Karma back in for that team fight. What a messy start. I mean, picking off the J4 with the Vi ult and the Annie ult, you don't have those spells for whatever Crit wants to come up and do. Just able to free hit the entire team fight, and Zeri not having any sort of damage right now. She is a champion that is reliant on having her shield bow. She needs to have that first item to be able to do anything these team fights, but Xayah does not necessarily need her first mythic item, getting so much done in that team fight, using that advantage they had to be able to get into the river to follow the death of the jungler and pick up so much in response. I mean, if I was the jungler for for Muffins. I'd be over there with a little billboard in the stands, like what they do for all those super fans for LCK, going, "Yay! I'm on a team with Crit."
Oof.
Bit of
What
a
a
rough time though,
yeah,
you
very
know.
rough time for EOD.
Yeah, Memoirs needs to kind of pull their pants together
Plating
and
will
say, "Hey,
soon fall.
uh, I see what you're trying to do over there, but we raise you a Tibbers bomb along with a Vi lockdown."
I raise you 10 schmeckles. Ooh, crit on
Whoa!
Rampage now.
Crit, getting some stuff done. Blitzcrank ult was used there, so I'm going to assume that Eric was able to find another brilliant hook onto the Karma.
Ooh,
A
Vi also getting.
dragon killing a Vi.
Yeah, Vi went for the invade and got punished
Blue
for it.
team's turret has been destroyed.
First turret going to red team.
You cannot invade against an Aurelion Soul into one of those camps right next to his lane. He can just pop his W and be there in a second. I mean, you do not have the time to take the camp and get out healthy.
No, not at all.
Man, all aces coming up for the side of Muffins right now. They are playing insanely well. J4 just needing to stay a little bit more safe for some of these fights, and he is golden, just riding the wave out on his mid and ADC, doing so much work. And we cannot forget about Eric Bobo's amazing hooks right now, leading into even more of a lead for his laners.
Yep, he's finding the hook angles and he's executing really well, getting the carries that he needs to get. But also, Jarvan did flash earlier, as you see his flash is on cooldown. Possibly to
Yeah,
get away from the Annie. He probably saw the Annie. He said, "Nope, don't want anything
it was
to do with that."
probably, well, Annie still has Timber, so I'm going to assume that it was used to try and pick up the kill onto Vi just to keep her there while his mid laner rotated over and able to finish off that kill. Annie in the top lane on Mundo, though.
Annie, yep, Annie popped the ignite on the window to reduce his healing on his ultimate. Annie taking up the turret. Ooh, a lot of damage.
It's very difficult to dive a Mundo, even if you have a Tibbers bomb. It's just not enough. But Vi coming up here to maybe finish off this Mundo. His passive's up.
Yep, passive is pop.
Doesn't
Vi goes
matter.
with ultimate, but Cho'Gath eats him to get the stack and gets a kill.
Yep. And while all of this is happening, Muffins is able to push down mid lane with the rift out. A pull!
Blitzcrank finds the hook on the Karma. Karma flashes away, but Xayah picks up the kill.
All right, I'm going to be honest. So this was happening last game with Memoirs ADC. I'm sorry, with Memoirs support pick. All the struggling with the hook champions. Nautilus in that game, Blitzcrank in this game, just eating all the yanks on top of the face. I don't know, man. If your big pool is in these enchanters that struggle into the hard engage, you might want to get rid of some of them.
Yeah, it's a feels bad moment right now, just having this enchanter champ pool against all this engage.
Yeah, as I mentioned, I mean, it's such a rough lane for Karma, especially if she's got an ADC that can't shove them out from under the turret. You're stuck underneath that turret. You're going to get pulled more often than not. Much easier for Blitzcrank to go for those pulls when he doesn't have to worry about you being in a bush. It is so rough for this Karma to play the game. I mean, you do not enjoy your time here. Your ADC is 50. And let me say that again. 50 farm down against the enemy ADC, along with 5 kills in Chris Pocket at 17 minutes. Karma's out. Karma does not exist in this game anymore. You have to play around your Vi. You have to play around the Zeri and just keep them alive. Stop dying. Do not sacrifice yourself anymore. You're not assisting. And Vi getting pulled into the pit.
Yep, and Jarvan ulting flashing out to safety. Can't contest this drag unless he goes in and suicides to get the steal. But Cho'Gath is in the middle of everyone right now. Ulti coming down from Asol, knocking him up. Crit gets dominating right now.
Holy shit,
goes
that's a
in,
lot of
tries-
damage.
Gray gets a kill onto the Jarvan, and Tibbers is just smacking up Xayah right now.
Cho'Gath walking into the middle of 5 people fearlessly, I might add, and getting obliterated by a meteorite to the face. I mean, you cannot play the game anymore. You do not have a bot lane. You have to play for these picks. They are opting instead to walk into the river as a group of 5. And that's exactly what's going to happen. What you just saw is exactly what's going to happen. If you're opting into a team fight against a very fed Xayah and an Aurelion Soul that has that massive ult shockwave, I mean, you're never going to survive. The karma not able to keep anybody alive. The Vi having to burn flash right before everything happened there. You can't. You can't even. On a scale of 1 to 10, you can't even.
Nope, can't even.
I think Muffins are just looking to get this soul and end the game off that.
Yep. I mean, if EOD, it's kind of just, you can't stop the bleeding. It's kind of just continuous. You have to shut down crit, but even that's pretty hard with the Mundo just running at your backline and Jarvan just also diving in your backline.
Yeah, you got a Mundo and a Jarvan diving you, and you have a Xayah that's undivable with her ult. I mean, anytime Vi ever goes in by herself, and that's what she's doing, right? At this point, she has to go in by herself to try and lock down the Xayah. But how are you ever going to do that against this champion? She is too fed for you to dive alone. You have to get the Annie ult down, but the Annie ult isn't going to be enough damage to really prevent Muffins from just walking forward still. Mundo can tank all of that. The Aurelion Soul even can tank all that.
This definitely is just looking one-sided in this for the side of TM for Muffins.
Hey, but we're here to support Crit. We are here to support him, his life, and all that he wants to do in this world. Pulling the Cho'Gath to get the Rift Herald off.
Yep, Xayah gets the root and picks up the kill for the Jarvan.
Ah! All right, we're gonna just give Xayah everything in the world. We're gonna give her. She is the love of their life. Muffins wants to marry this Xayah right here and now. They have their proposal. They have the spot picked out over on the cliffside facing the beach. They have the ring. They've even talked to the parents and gotten their blessing. This Xayah is the love of their life for this team and will carry them to victory and the happiness that they so much deserve and all the affection and love in the world. Maybe 2 pets, maybe some, a pair of boys to bring up on the side. The Xayah is everything for Muffins and Crit and how they are playing right now, and it is beautiful.
Big fight, Baron fight. They do find the ult onto Xayah, but
Keep your
Xayah
love alive!
feather pullback right now. Zeri's also free firing right now. Getting the kill onto the Jarvan for the Cho'Gath. Mundo doesn't get knocked up because of his passive, and he just runs at them, hoping Zeri gets the kill.
No Aurelion Soul in that fight. He is pushing on the bot side, ignoring the fight around Baron, but his team was able to pick it up, and he is able to push for free. This is incredible.
A very good back row coming out right now.
Yeah, the entire fight was a 4v5. Xayah able to flash over that wall, keeping herself safe, and a brilliant E-Yank to get that damage needed to win that fight. Awesome play there. Aurelion Soul pushing with TP.
I mean, he wasn't
Did have
needed for this
TP up.
fight.
Hey, I was just saying, this Xayah is everything for them. If you see a team fight breaking out around the objective that you want to take, and it feels like the Xayah might need a little bit more assistance, I TP immediately.
Yep. But as you see, the Xayah did not need any assistance then.
No, did not. Because Xayah is incredible in every single way, and words can't bring you down.
I'm looking like they're trying to do a little bush cheese. They do see the Cho'Gath there, but don't do anything because
This is the soul that they need. This is the fight that they want to try and take. Blitzcrank looking for a hook. Mundo looking for a team to fight.
Yep, they can't exactly kill the Mundo right now because Sky's Ascend comes in, but doesn't do anything. Mundo gets killed in the karma. Xayah is untouched, gets the pullback, kills the Cho'Gath, and it's just Zeri and Annie right now.
That
Annie goes
Zaya
into the
getting
flash stun right
that
now.
Zaya getting a whole bunch of country pork right now in the form of ham.
Ooh, baby.
Just sucking down the meatiness of the Cho'Gath right there with the E pullback. He can't play the game. These guys are pushing the end right now. I don't think there's too much standing in their way. Blitzcrank getting some phenomenal pulls this game. Crit having a phenomenal game on the Zaya, doing everything that the team wants. This is the ADC that you want to have in these moments. Dahaz teaching Zeri how to get hooked by Blitzcrank. And that's a win over for Muffins.
Ooh, very, very outstanding win right now. Very quick game too.
Wow. All right. Well, so every single one of these games, game 1, game 2, game 3, we see Crit just doing so much. Just the entire time. Crit was the star of the show. Everybody else was an NBC. No offense to the enemy team, no offense to the ally team, but this was a show about Crit. And we are here as humble passerbys to what's happening in his life. Out of all the games, though, I think I enjoyed watching Crit on the first one. In particular, the Zeri gameplay was thrilling to watch when your team is struggling to get those engages off and you're still getting kills on the pick. It's just a wall. It's literally just Zeri behind a wall of champions firing through the wall. And if that's what you're doing, you're accomplishing your goal. So after Gumi gets over his allergies after having moved to the warehouse, do you want to tell me what you were hoping to see out of Memoirs?
I was honestly out of Memoirs. I was hoping to see a little more plays in the mid lane to shut down this ASOL. Even though ASOL wasn't really doing anything, I feel like Gray had the potential to carry in game 2 and in game 3.
Mm-hmm.
And also, I I would say just a minute. I'd say it wasn't more of the mid lane. It was more of this jungle for the side of Memoir, having him be more proactive in the mid lane and in the bot lane to help with crit. It was a crit show, right? So if they could just shut down crit early, it's just how is
Yeah.
he gonna do anything?
I mean, they tried to get rid of a lot of crit champions. That's the first way to do it. The second way is to be able to give yourself a bot lane that you can play around. And for every single one of those games, especially games 2 and 3, they picked up a Lulu and Karma into 2 hook champions and then didn't provide the coverage to keep those champions going, to keep them getting to the point where they could team fight together. Crit picking up a lot of those kills, not only in laning phase, especially in game 3, but not only in laning phase, but also in those early game fights, right? So with that Tristana pick, not only did he get the kill way early with that early invade, but like even after that, he's getting the picks onto some very odd fights that are coming down to the bot lane and not succeeding, right? So I mean, I agree with you. I think the Aurelian Soul was uncomfortable for a pick, but that's something that we can't really blame them for. The champ literally came out a week and a half ago, and people are still trying to figure out how the champion works, how you want to play team fights with him, when you want to use the ult, what kind of damage thresholds he has. Both the enemy team and allies, they look very unsure playing around the pick. So like I like, yeah, you can play around it, but if you are not quite sure how your matchup goes, then how are you supposed to communicate to your jungler, hey, come gank my lane now? Come gank my lane when he's doing this or when I see this, because like I know exactly what cooldowns I'm looking for to be able to make plays. And that's something that Memoir weren't able to really capitalize on, as you brought up, especially in games 2 and 3, right? So even when you take the Annie and Vi, who have that super aggressive duo together, there wasn't much done about it. Vi ended up just farming, especially game 3, and not really trying to get anything done. And that just allows Muffins to do whatever they want, let Crit get those early kills. There's not pressure on the rest of the map to counter Crit. So, yeah, I mean, there's just so much they could have had done that never happened.
Yeah, that's yeah, I really got nothing else. Honestly, that's just whew, the crit
Yeah.
show, baby.
Yeah. Just watching the crit show, just being the crowd. But I mean, those were some really good games to watch, especially watching for the bot side, just seeing what kind of leads they were able to get. That's gonna be the end for our cast for these two games. What a great series to have with Toasted Muffins and Memoirs. I mean, one game going over to Memoirs and Toasted Muffins bringing it back in game 2 and 3 for a solid victory over them. We got more games coming up for the rest of this weekend on Saturdays and Sundays with pre-made leagues. But this is going to be the end of the draft stream. Thank you so much for coming out and watching. This is me and Gumi, and also some help with production on Wookie Monster. Have a good rest of your night, and I hope you win your ranked games.
Take care.
Memoirs.